Ring, ring, ring! Hello, please, and welcome back to Krown's magical. It's only just begun. Crypto Cave.
Hey, good job on that one. You finally fucking did it without screwing up. You can have your nanos once again. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. And holy shit, I need to address this right now. What the hell? How is there so many likes in this video so early? This is like a new all-time record. What the fuck has gone over here? I didn't even need to say it. Smash your faces, smash your likes, smash your fucking elbows, smash your alerts, smash your fucking dogs, and smash everything in your goddamn fucking house, and like this motherfucking video so that we can get some goddamn likes in this bitch! Got carried away there. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It's a lovely little Tuesday over here from Helsinki, Finland. It's nice and sunny outside as we get the TA weather report going on right here, right now. Anyways, there actually is plenty to talk about in the short-term time frames. Bitcoin is taking the nice little higher low structure that we did identify earlier in the yesterday's video. So with that said, we have a little bit of opportunity going on right now to the upside, as we did identify more or less over this past weekend. Now starting to see it come to fruition. Yesterday was a little bit shaky, of course, as always, but at the end of the day, the market doesn't get decided in one day, of course, and we are still within the midst of one long form, very long and annoying and boring consolidation. And for those of us who are not trading options right now, because Dribbit kicks off American citizens, well, it's very, very difficult. So with that said, let's get into the Krown chain application right now, which we found at app.krownchain.net. What do we see? We see we have a sale actually going on right now. I will address that perhaps later in this video. I don't want to get into that exactly right now because that is, we'll just save it for the end. Anyways, Bitcoin dominance still 45%. Fear and greed index actually popped up a couple points from 27 to 29 as Bitcoin does essentially put in a higher low on the daily time frames, again showing that CME is showing the way for all the CME haters out there, because it's the mean bankers who I don't even know what the fuck that even means, but more importantly, the chart was the truth in that case, and did give a bit of a extremely short-term, downside bias, but more importantly, looking for that as a bit of a pivot point and looking for a bit of upside on top of that. Hey, what's up, Mr. Micah R? My dog jumps my leg every time he sees your sexy mug. Holy shit, man, that is very generous, and I am glad that canines find me attractive, because that is exactly what I'm going for. Anyways, into the market data tab we go, and I do want to address this once again, because we actually do see that the global funding rate is continuing to not just be negative, but actually increase in its negativity, in fact. So this was kind of giving us a bias over the last few days that, hey, Bitcoin, might have a little bit of short-term downside, but it's very unlikely to break right now, amongst, other things as well. And we also even see the global exchanges net flow now showing a slightly negative number. Now, this is incredibly slight, of course, but it does show that, of course, we do have essentially a decrease in Bitcoin's supply for selling, technically speaking. I mean, at the end of the day, what is this telling you? It's telling you a very just straightforward information. And basically, if you do highlight this tooltip right here, it's telling you that outflows are greater than inflows right now. So people are taking their coins off of exchanges. Again, very, very small number right here, but is rather interesting nonetheless. Other than that, I actually want to go into the put call market very immediately today, because we did identify this, I believe, at the end of last week, coming into this week, saying that, hey, look, the $30,000 put strikes are getting played up, quite a fair bit. We're probably not going to break 30,000 bucks this week if it is going to happen. I still do think that whether you're bullish or bearish, you're probably waiting. If you're bullish, you're probably waiting for longer. If you're bearish, you're probably looking at some sort of a resolution below this $31,000 precipice, maybe later this month, perhaps. Anyways, I'm going to turn off the alerts for right now. What's up, Spencer Smith? There he is. Glowing, flowing threads, grace, and lightened hair. Advancer, advance. That's exactly right, my friend. That's exactly right. I woke up today and my hair it had a mind of its own right now. So I did want to address this right here. And guess what? That $45,000 strike is getting played up quite a fair bit now, isn't it? Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Anyways, I still do think that Bitcoin very likely does get, whether you're bullish or bearish, does get a move up here, and probably a bull trap somewhere in the mid, maybe deep $40,000 territory. Just like I don't think that we're going to close below 30,000 bucks at the end of this week. I don't think that we're going to close above 45,000 bucks this week. But that's not really saying a whole hell of a lot, because it is rather far away right now. But of course, we are still more or less early within this week, and now I think would be a good time to go into the price action charts immediately, as we can follow up on yesterday's short-term time frame analysis. Remember, we looked at Bitcoin as a bit of a pivot point right around about 33,500 is what I said yesterday, and I said I actually I will take a trade there. Now, I typically don't like talking about my actual trades on these streams. It's come to bite me in the ass in the past, and there's really not much of an upside about talking about your own trades, except for obviously clout. But clout doesn't actually give you any money. It just gives you more followers on social medias, and more followers, more problems is the more appropriate metric on that. So more importantly now, we are still ranging, of course, on the short-term timeframes, but with this nice little move that we did see on the short-term timeframes, we do have something that is actually rather important and very compelling, at least for the medium, that can obviously bleed on into the medium-term timeframes. And to put it quite bluntly, I do think that Bitcoin has some upside here, and basically that is this: the CME, and I think spot price action has done this as well, but CME just an easier chart to read right now. What do we have? We have potentially a higher low. This would be our first higher low since, since quite some time, actually. In fact, if you look at CME chart, we did not get any higher lows in comparison to spot price action this whole way through. Now, yes, we did get a bit of a higher high right here, but of course that was not accompanied by any sort of a higher low along that metric. So CME chart, once again, kind of keeping you nice and safe in SAFU. And if you actually look at the daily trend just on CME, not on spot price action, but just on CME, the daily trend actually pretty much gets all major reversals. Maybe not every single one, the weekly is going to be a little bit better for that, but the daily is good enough in this case. If you go back to April, May, that's kind of how we knew to not be essentially bullish anymore, especially after Bitcoin took out the last prior low. And then of course your full on confirmation was put in this lower high right here. That was no more risk on, sirs and zers. And then what do you know? That leads us into a 50% dump. I'm not always going to say that's, always going to be something as ridiculous as that, but in this case, it certainly was. And what do we see right now? Bitcoin is grabbing a hold of the 10-month moving average on the daily right here. We are still being stifled by the 21 and the 30. However, when I do see this sort of these sort of moving averages get tested multiple times within a short amount of time, in this case, this being tested for the second and third time over the course of the last less than a week, actually, that is, typically indicative that we are going to see a little bit of, at the very least, a bit of a reversal right here. It's a good signal, so to speak. And we can now use yesterday's daily high as a continuation point. I do not need to wait for this high right here. Now, maybe I say this at my own peril, obviously, but I do think that it is I do think that it is relevant to be a little more aggressive right now because we are very likely to see volatility expand after reaching essentially the lowest levels that we've seen in, quite some time, which we'll go over soon enough. Anyways, looking at this right here, anywhere above yesterday's high on CME, which is actually 35,955, and I imagine we could do the same thing on spot price action as well. Yeah, we could, or at least I could. I would be looking for general continuation of the top side of the range. Yes, there will be stops along the way, of course, but I need to be a little bit more careful with the way that I relate different time frames because it's come to my attention through reading through some of the comments, and this is my fault, of course, too. In a more sincere tone, I need to be more clear with what I'm talking about. When we're talking about different time frames, understand that the time frame, that analysis for that time frame is relevant to that time frame. I know this is probably teaching a lot of people teaching grandma how to suck eggs. Is that the right phrase? That sounds really dirty, actually, when you think about it. It's like teaching grandma how to suck. Like, what the fuck? Am I gonna go find grandma on XXX videos or something like ridiculous? Anyways, my point is that look, when we're looking at a fucking 4-hour time frame, we're talking about, price action over the next, I don't know, maybe day or two. If we're looking at a daily, we're probably talking about it over the next week. If we're looking at a weekly, we're talking about it over the next 3 to 4 weeks in general. And of course, when we're talking about a monthly, which yes, we did speak about the monthly quite significantly last week or at the end of last week because we did have, June closure. Well, that does imply that we're probably going to be looking at that sort of a interplay to play out over the next, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months, something like that. It's going to take time, obviously. Anyways, as it stands right now, again, going back to the short-term timeframes, I do more or less like what I see. We do see that Bitcoin's put in a bit of a higher low even on the 4-hour time frame as well, which is all well and good. We even had it accompanied by a little bit of hidden bullish divergence right there. Credit to caretakers RSI for this one, just nabbing all of them out. And we even see 4-hour TSI looking for a little bit of a twist up. Now, this was all a little bit more obvious, like I said, on CME chart right here. Never really even twisted down, actually, and will be having a chance to get above the, into the bullish buy zone, maybe even today. Now, here's the thing that I really want to address. Okay, 4-hour, or actually, these two things essentially. 4-hour RSI looks more or less constructive right here. It's complete, this is neutral to slightly bullish, obviously. But more importantly, we do see that BBWP, another caretaker creation, actually, is looking for a bit of expansion right here. To reference the title of this video, what is inevitable? The inevitability is the expansion of volatility as we do hit, multi-month lows, actually going back to, I think, November lows. If we go over to the daily, it's not going to be necessarily represented on this indicator right here because this is a percentile indicator. But if we were to look at just Bollinger Band width, it would be somewhere down around October, November of last year when Bitcoin was doing this massive consolidation, which is essentially what I think Bitcoin's doing right now as well. If you want to be bullish, again, I do think that the best that you're looking at is another maybe like a month and a half to 2 months of sideways within this region. Bitcoin probably puts in a rally above $40,000 and then comes back down at a range and then maybe goes for a run if it is going to end up being like the low, so to speak. But I'm still not fully convinced of that. I'm very open-minded to any sort of a prolonged downside move as well. But still, the criteria for meeting that is very much the same. I want to see a daily closure, either on new lows or just anywhere below 31,500 would do it for me. I've been saying 31,000 before. I think that you could move that down to 31,000, or 31,500 now. Jesus Christ, man, I can't say my words. And then on top of that, if we saw like a weekly below about 32,000 bucks, that would do it for me as well. So far, we haven't seen that, and Bitcoin more or less reclaiming the range from about a week and a half ago does look good for another try towards the top side of this current range. Again, the same range that we've been looking at for realistically the last month and a half, 2 months now. And of course, our biggest resistance, that's most overhead, is going to be about that $36,000 level. And that essentially is my continuation point from yesterday's high anyways. So all of that coincides with each other. Actually, no, it's not. Funnily enough, daily yesterday was what on spot price action? 35,258. What about CME? CME was much higher, 35,955. So in this case, CME would be a little bit more obvious, obviously, to use a bad alliteration right there. But I do think that you could probably make the same sort of analysis on spot price action. Maybe I wait for like a 4-hour closure above 35,250 or 35,300-ish region. And then, yes, I'd generally be looking for another up thrust toward throughout the range. 38,000 bucks would be the next sort of area of interest, so to speak, and then probably a short-term pullback from there. Maybe even comes back down and retests like 36,5 or so, and then very likely all the way up to the top side of the range at 40 to 41,000 bucks. And while I do think that Bitcoin we'll have a little bit of drama around there, ultimately, I do think that Bitcoin probably does mount an assault to the mid-40s if that were to take place. Again, all of the long-term analysis that I put out on the last couple Sundays is still very much relevant. If you want to check up on that at any moment in time, you are more than welcome to, as that's going to go into obviously a lot more long-term analysis, and as the fucking title would suggest, of course. But more importantly, with that, I do still hold a lot of reservations, especially within this region right here. And before that, we even need to get above the range highs, and continuation points for that is just going to be our 15th of June highs right here. Anyways, so if we go back down to the short-term timeframes, do we see anything that is actionable as of right now? I mean, things look more or less okay here. We do see that volatility is expanding on the hourly right now from a very low level. We do see that hourly RSI is more or less healthy, reaching back towards the bullish control zone. And I believe that this is reflected upon all lower-term timeframes right now. Here's our 2-hour, same shit. Here's our 3-hour. Same shit. Here's a 4-hour. We already know. We've already looked at that, and same shit once again. And then what I also want to address is what we spoke about yesterday that could have happened, was potential to happen, which did end up happening, and that was getting our daily, or actually no, we did not confirm our daily drive of phantom divergence right here, but we will have a chance to do it today, and it looks very, very likely that we'll do it. And of course, that will very likely, at the very least, imply move back up towards that $36,000 level right here. Again, probably a little bit of a short-term pullback on the short-term timeframes, and then I do think that Bitcoin very likely will try a move throughout the top side of the range. Anyways, with that said, volume profile is going to be pretty much consistent with the precipice of that last sort of daily high around just above 36,000 bucks. Again, is the area that we've been getting rejected from, and basing all the price action off of for the last like 2 months now, basically. And I do put a lot of weight on that. So anywhere above there, Bitcoin has kind of free range to tag up towards 40 to 41,000 bucks, and probably even beyond. Again, we still have a nice unfilled gap from about 48 to 49,000 bucks right here, coming in from 14th of May of this year on CME. So I would I would look at that as kind of like a natural point. Again, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, of course, but it is a rather exciting day because we've seen more than $100 worth of price action happen, which is quite an outlier right now. Also should follow up on this as well. The daily jewel kind of getting continuation. It's a very anemic one right here. Ultimately, I want to see this kind of curl back down and line up for like a perfect signal, but for right now, it does provide a bit of upside bias, as we did say yesterday, which is slowly coming to fruition. Again, these are these are going to take some time realistically, because we're just looking at a god awful range right now, to be honest with you. And without trading options, man, this becomes a lot less. It becomes a lot more difficult for myself. I mean, this used to be, and we were actually having a good discussion about this in the Discord earlier. This used to be where I'd like make most of my money. Actually, this was like my bread and butter plays when whatever asset that I was trading would go into a sideways range, just sell the fucking strangles, and it's very easy to cover, typically speaking, especially when you're trading Bitcoin ranges, which have massive $10,000 ranges at this price point. It doesn't take a fucking genius to do that, and rather lucrative over the course of now it's giving you about 2 months within this region. Anyways, before we move on to the comments, I should also talk about short-term time frame momentum oscillators, of which we can get back on over here, and I believe that CME and spot should be lining up with each other now? Yep, they are. Just as we spoke about yesterday. This actually, and I want to kind of highlight back around this. So remember, yesterday, short-term time frame momentum oscillators on CME were completely different than Bitcoin spot. We saw CME Stokes on the hourly coming in way down from here, and I said, look, usually CME is going to win that case, or if you're questioning which one to go off of, usually it's going to be CME. More often than not, my studies show more than 85% actually over time. And then what do you see right here? Same thing on Bitcoin. Now it's lining up with CME as well. So I do like that, and that is going to be consistent amongst all lower term timeframes. Now we see buy release popping back up, 33,670, the magical number right there. 3 hours showing 33,450. 4 hour is showing 33,500-ish region. So overall, that is good, and that is obviously not to be overshadowed by our higher term timeframes, which you did get confirmation on at the end of last week, or I guess at the end of Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And what did we confirm there? We confirmed weekly Stokes actually crossing back up for the first time since realistically March, April, of course, of this year, when Bitcoin was above like $50,000, testing around $60,000. So a rather interesting proposition nonetheless. And what do we see right now? It will be remaining to the upside as long as we're above 34,500, which we're clean $200 above as of this current moment, with another 5 days left, 6 days left basically of trading in this week. So it doesn't really mean too much right now, but you can see that this is giving us a bit of an upside bias, at least for this week to come. We've seen very, 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 very little, going on, especially last week. I mean, just look at this pathetic doji doodle right there. And ultimately, when you see something like this, you're typically going to see a bit of a try in the opposite direction. In this case, that would be to the upside. At the very least, if you are looking at this super guppy, I do have different moving averages on this, on this one in comparison to like what you will get stock standard, but you'll typically see it at the very least to the top side of the range on this. And guess where that is? Of course, it's directly in line with the top side of our, of our price action range. If you're just looking at just straight up horizontals, and that would be about $41,000. So overall, I do like what I see, for the general week. There will be pullbacks. Obviously, it's not going to be like a straight line, of course, as it never is, but there's a pretty easy way to be managing this as well. And it's basically just using yesterday's, not yesterday's, but the day prior to that, or I guess this would be CME the day prior to that. So that is actually last Friday's low as a, as a reversal point, or in this case, I mean, it would generally be continuation of the higher term time frames. Short term time frames would be a reversal, and that would be about, let's just call it $33,000 is what I did say yesterday. So I'll stick with that. And I'm happy to be, I suppose, short term, medium term bullish as long as Bitcoin remains above there. And for anyone wondering, the trades that I did take yesterday, I actually did sell off a decent amount of what I did buy at about 33.5, somewhere around 34, a little bit under there, and now I'm holding the rest, just playing the trend right here. So I will play the position for a good portion of this, and we'll see where this one leads. Anyways, nothing's 100% guaranteed to work out. Obviously, any fucking trader who has any modicum of experience knows that, but you have a very easy way to be managed risk here, and the ranges are rather tight, so risk is relatively minimal in this case. Anyways, daily TSI is twisting up as well. Good. We did see continuation of that from yesterday. I want to see what spot price action looks like as well. It's actually pretty much the exact same. 2 days, same thing. 3 days, 3 days actually about to cross up with any sort of a closure above $36,000. Hey, that's rather interesting. So if Bitcoin takes out the midpoint of this current range between about 31 and $42,000, then we see higher term time for momentum oscillators in this fashion turn up as well. So I do like that. 5 days, not quite there just yet. And weekly, same thing. And then if we go over to our secondary charts right here, is there anything of particular interest that I want to get into right now? Yeah, I mean, we do see daily MACD continuing. We did speak about this yesterday as well, with any sort of a closure above about 33,000 and some odd change, I think it was. We obviously got that, and does still edge the the territory, or sorry, does edge my my biases towards the upside. And of course, when you are looking at something like this, I spoke about this yesterday, very, very briefly. But I do think that it is important. It is important nonetheless. What I want to see right here is I want to see this 9 exponential average cross the upside of the 20 simple, and then Bitcoin close above on 2 consecutive closes. Preferably, the second one will be both an open and closure. If that happens, your typical play, it's not always going to happen, but your typical play is going to be a shot up to the 55 in this case, and that's about 38,500, basically $39,000. Again, aligning with the top side of this range. So we see multiple points of confluence right here, which is typically a good thing. At the end of the day, though, I do want to reiterate this one point, though. Understand that when I'm doing analysis on YouTube, this is completely different to the way that I trade. When I'm doing this analysis on YouTube, I'm going through all these different indicators and whatnot, and you don't need to fucking do that, obviously. Like, when it's come to trading, I like to simplify my indicators at 3 at most, if that. I like to have something for structure, so that, or, trend structure, so that could be moving averages, for example. I like to have something for volatility, that's my BBWP, and then I like to use something for momentum oscillators. Typically, I'll go with RSI, sometimes Stokes. So make no mistake about it, like when it comes to actual trading, it's actually a lot more simplistic than analysis. And in fact, it's a lot better to be, a better trader than an analyst, of course, because, you can pay yourself for trading. An analyst, you got to, you're getting paid by someone else, if you're even getting paid at all. So with all of that in mind, do we have the 3 things that I'd want to see for a potential macro bottom? Nope, we don't have them just yet, but we are starting to inch our way towards that. We still do not see a blue buy signal on the hash ribbons indicator right here. In fact, they are incredibly diverged from each other, so it's not happening anytime soon. We are still even awaiting the recovery phase, so it's going to take some time. But once we get the blue buy signal, I will start to entertain the possibilities of a macro low in, assuming that we have the other 2 points of focus already there as well. And we do actually right now. We do have a higher low on price action, somewhat. I mean, it's very, 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 very close right there, but it is about $33,000. Or if you're on I think CME is a little more obvious. Yeah, about $33,000. And again, it's easier to read on CME. You can see very, very clearly right here, anywhere below this level. And yes, this one's going to get absolutely fucking shattered. We'll go back down to 31,500, probably play at another shitty bounce, and then maybe the doom drop after that. But I don't think that that's exactly the most likely thing to happen at this moment. If it is going to happen, I do think that it still takes some time. Anyways, looking at BBWP, the third component of this, we do still see it coming down actually all the way into single digits now from reaching 100 percentile just about a month ago, a little bit more than a month ago in May 2021. Actually, no, we're working on 2 months now. Actually, yes, it's pretty damn good. So I want to see this, preferably I'd like to see this get a little bit lower, but even in single digits, that's probably okay. And I want to see that start to expand alongside a higher low on the daily, plus, preferably a higher high too. And then of course the hash ribbon signal firing off. If that happens, I will start to talk about Bitcoin putting in a macro low. Until that happens though, I still run with what I've been saying on the long-term analysis videos, that there are certainly a lot more bearish things on the charts than bullish long-term. Bitcoin can play out a bounce, or Bitcoin can play out a move all the way to 45, maybe even $50,000 and still remain in kind of trappy territory. I would not, assuming that those 3 conditions are not met, I would in no way, shape, or form entertain the possibilities of a macro low being unless a Bitcoin were to do this one other thing that would immediately make me switch my biases, and that would be closing a daily above $50,000. If that were to happen, okay, cool. We can talk about prior highs and beyond, and we start to talk about these crazy targets: $250,000, $500,000. No, 1 million, sir, 2 million, sir. You're too fucking bearish. 100 goddamn million. That's right. We're all gonna be goddamn rich. Well, what people should probably also entertain is that if Bitcoin gets to like, a million plus, that probably implies something has gone drastically wrong with like fiat currencies, which you're probably gonna have bigger problems if that were to happen. So I do still think that it's a little bit, I think that people don't really, or maybe they don't consider those possibilities as much. Anyways, other than that, I think we've kind of nailed most of the things that I wanted to talk about right here. I also uploaded a shorts video on Sunday for Ethereum, specifically on the higher term timeframes. And that is still more or less very valid right here for the weekly targets, and actually looking pretty damn good. In fact, if I'm looking at Ethereum, this one is certainly leading right now as far as the higher market cap coins go. And what do we see? We see actually a potentially really good cross going on right here between the red 10 simple, the yellow 21, and the blue 30 simple. If we do see the red 10 simple cross the upside of the 21, this is going to look pretty damn good, especially on a higher low continuation. And, based off of what we did speak about on the shorts video, which was, well, short, we did see that we had 5-day hidden bullish divergence potential. That got confirmed, and I think weekly did as well. Yes. So typically speaking, I will be looking for a move somewhere around about 25 to 2600, very, very likely. Potential for more after that, but first and foremost, I would like to see those targets hit and see the reaction from those areas. And it looks to me like Ethereum is kind of leading right here, and it makes sense. Ethereum has its event sometime around the middle of this month of July. That being, your name is I Killed Epstein. Holy shit. I actually watched so many documentaries on Epstein and his wife, or is it, I don't know, Ghislaine or Ghislaine or Ghislaine? What the fuck is her name? What the fuck is her name? She's actually going on trial soon too, by the way. I really want to see how that turns out. How the fuck has everyone forgotten about that shit, man? She knows everything, man. And she's in jail right now, and she's going to be on trial soon enough in, I think, November. And she's gonna have to spill the beans, man. She's gonna have to spill the beans, or well, I don't know, probably something worse, man. It sounds like she's not getting treated too well there either. But then again, she also didn't treat those girls that she led to her husband guy getting fucked, because they're like 15 years old, man. They're fucking babies. Anyways, looking at Ethereum, I still do think that it's got some upside right here. Again, this is in line with the event coming in around the middle of this month. Is it going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news? Perhaps yes. In fact, I would say most likely yes, in fact. And does that align with maybe Bitcoin getting that bull trappy area into the mid $40,000 territory? Perhaps also yes as well. Now, even if Bitcoin does get that bull trap in the mid $40,000 territory, which again, we're way far ahead of ourselves right now. But if I bring you back to this chart over here, I think I think it's relevant to look at for the time being. Then I still do think that Bitcoin could come back down and maybe put in a low somewhere in like the mid $30,000 territory. I will not get like full on gung ho bearish, like trading for new lows down to like $25,000 or $20,000, even though I'm very, very open to the possibility until Bitcoin again does one of the now I would say two things that we discussed earlier. Maybe you could say three things. Again, it'd be like a 4-hour closure below about 30,300-ish region, a daily closure below about $31,000 or 31.5 if you want to be a little more aggressive, or a weekly below about $32,000. One of those three things, and then yeah, we can talk about all the nasty targets, down into the depths of the hells. But for right now, I think it's time to enjoy a bit of a relief rally, as we've been saying for the past couple weeks here. What's a little more likely to happen first before any potential massive downside. And look, on the short-term timeframes right here, it's pretty damn clear. I mean, there's nothing too nothing too crazy about this. Okay, can I get to my goddamn CME chart? Just looking at this last higher low again, coming in from 2nd of July. As long as Bitcoin's above there, I'm happy to be short-term, medium-term bullish, and you can even move this point up now to yesterday's low at about 33,500-ish region. As long as we're above there, I'm generally looking for some upside to transpire from this current region. Probably going to be a lot of ebbs and flows within this, as I don't necessarily think that we're ready to like fully unleash the rocket, but I do think that things are kind of shaping up maybe like end of this week or next week, something like that. Anyways, with that said, I think it's now time to get into the actual chatties here. So let me turn on the alerts right there. Let me go over here. I think Elsa's got them on deck. She does. And what do we have going on right here? I see John Zeman Jr. says the Ethereum founder was on an interview lately. You mean Vitalik? The Ethereum founder? You can just say Mr. Beaterall was on an interview lately talking about how bear markets pullbacks will be shorter due to more and more mainstream adoption. Yes, question mark. No, I'd actually take the other side of that bet. 100%, and I'd feel extremely confident with that. The reason why I said that is because the more people that get involved in these markets, the more and more people you have trading, which means that the order books fill up more and more. So that means that as the market cycles progress, you have more people to chew through. More people are kind of putting their foot in the in the footprint of this asset. I don't know if that's like the best way of saying that, but more importantly, you can see this for yourself. How long did this first market cycle take? It took from about 2011 to 2013, so about 2 years. How long does this next one take? 2013 all the way to 2018. It's quite some time. How long does this next one take? 2018 to 2021. And I don't necessarily feel comfortable saying that we're done here just yet. So no, I'd strongly disagree with that. Actually, in fact, it's completely the opposite. When you have a very immature asset and you have less people trading it, then you have less people to chew through. Because understand what a market cycle is. Understand what a bear cycle is actually trying to do. Like this just shows a lack of understanding of what the purpose of a downtrend is, or like a prolonged downtrend in this case. And I say this with full respect. Like obviously Vitalik is he's a very, very smart person. He's created something that's pretty damn impressive, but does he understand marks? Does that mean that he understands market cycles? Probably not. No, or at least they're not like a casual relationship. So my point is that when you are in a downtrend, when you are in a prolonged downtrend, what is the point of that? Well, it's for people to distribute and then of course accumulate on the other side. So first off, you have your distribution, which can lead into redistribution and blah 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 blah. And you have a lot of people. And when the market matures, you have more and more people doing that. There's more trades going on, more coins to offload. Not only that, but there actually are even more coins available to offload, especially in a market that is continuously growing with like new shit coins being minted every goddamn day. Anyways, on top of that, the accumulation phases are naturally going to take longer as well, because you need to shake more people out of their coins. So with all of that in mind, no, I would respectfully disagree with that and say it would be completely the opposite. This is why I completely disagree with like this whole super cycle theory as well. Look, the super cycle theory, it sounds really, really good if you want to, believe in fucking, believe in like Disney or something. And that's great. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. I'm not trying to like throw shit at the people who have come up with this, but I would strongly I would strongly suggest that, you look at like other markets, and do they never have pullbacks? I mean, they certainly do. It's to a slighter degree, of course, in traditional markets, but you still do get your 10 to 20% corrections, every like 5 to 10 years, I'd say, in traditional markets. And are you going to say that that's like, a part of the super cycle? I don't know. And for Bitcoin, a 20% correction wouldn't be too much, but obviously it's going to be a relative relationship. So I don't necessarily think that I'd agree with that, at least at face value. And more importantly, like that's just not the fucking point of being a trader anyways. Like if you're going to be a trader, you should be able to to go with the ebbs and flows of the market and identify when those reversal points happen, which is, rather, I wouldn't say rather simple, but it's, once you kind of know what to look for, it is rather obvious, I would say. Again, daily trend reversals are going to lead you to the promised land more often than not. It's a very, very simple thing to understand. Just put it on a fucking line chart. Anyone can learn this within a week or two. Look, when do you decide that this is a downtrend right here? Well, you got a lower low below this low right here. You got a lower high below this high right here. Boom. Okay, you're fucking done. Like that's it. Pretty damn simple stuff. And then we've been downtrending ever since then, and you haven't really seen a reversal until potentially upcoming. I mean, possible, definitely. Anyways, okay, all right. Let's get on to Scott Carney. There he is, EOS for short-term trade if Bitcoin pumps a bit. I mean, if Bitcoin pumps, and I think it's really led by Ethereum right now, you're probably going to see everything else go along with it. So we can pop in EOS. I'd imagine it's probably going to follow, but is it going to be more or less strong? You're looking for terms of relative strength. And I'd say no, EOS's chart is just disgusting here. Absolutely pathetic, in fact, long-term. Now, this one has been around since 2017, actually. So we can really relate this in terms of relative strength in comparison to a lot of the other 2017, 2018 shitcoins that came along around that time. And again, I know that like a lot of people like EOS, and that's great, that's cool. I'm just talking about charts here specifically, that's all. But if you're looking in terms of relative strength, the strong shit from 2017 and 2018, they were making new all-time highs in this current cycle above their 2017, 2018 all-time highs. This one did not. So it is not relatively strong. So do you want to be in one of the ones that's going to be a bit of a laggard on this? Personally speaking, I would say absolutely fucking not. I mean, this one it's not even in the same like guise as the ones that are acting stronger right now. Ethereum is acting as one of the strongest for like the major market cap coins. Bitcoin kind of like, I look at that as like par for the course, of course, and this one's certainly relatively weak. So it's like, yeah, you're probably gonna get an upside move alongside Bitcoin, but in percentage terms, probably not as much. In fact, you can just look at EOS BTC and you still have to be asking yourself, like, what is the opportunity cost of being in this shitcoin versus another shitcoin that could move more? And this one just looks absolutely god awful on the Bitcoin chart. I mean, long term, this is an atrocious chart that has no business, in my opinion, for being respected right here. This is just garbage, man. Terrible price action. Again, I don't know about the project. I'm sure that other people out there have very glowing things to say about it. That's cool. That's not the game that I'm playing right here. I'm not an investor long term. I am just a simple trader. And yes, I do hold some Bitcoins long term. But like, if you ask me to hold this thing long term, fuck no, man. Fuck no. This thing's been downtrending ever since 2018, and I don't see any reason for it to stop anytime soon on the weekly time schedule. So, will you get an upside move? Basically, yeah, you probably will if Bitcoin moves the upside, but it probably won't be as much as Bitcoin, for example. And I'm sure that there's going to be several altcoins that do outperform Bitcoin if Bitcoin does move up as well. Super Googly says, "Hello, sir. What's up, man? Did you play any video games during the weekend?" I did, man. A shit ton of video games, but I've been doing a lot of house searching recently, so I've been pretty damn busy with that. But yeah, man, I've been chopping some heads. It's been some good times. Can we have a look at 1610 daily on Hong Kong Exchange? Yes. 1610, okay, and you're looking at this guy right here. All right, and I think you said daily. Is that correct? Yes, you did. Okay, cool. Another shit chart, actually. Now, long term, it is technically in an uptrend, but goddamn, man. I mean, is it kind of on its lows right now? You probably are looking for a bounce off these regions. Yeah, looking at the weekly, do I think that it tries for a bounce here after kind of grinding out this like 280 level? Probably yes, but that is really sloppy right there. The thing is that long term, I mean, you do have an uptrend long term on the higher term timeframes, and guess where you are? I mean, I really dislike diagonal trend lines, but I suppose it kind of works in this case. And I'd generally be looking for, at least another bounce off this like anywhere between about 270 to 280ish region, and probably tries back up somewhere around $3. I think is rather safe. Does a long-term trend continue here to the upside? Maybe yes, but I do think it's going to be kind of a bit of a laggard. And if I am looking at the monthly right here, like this looks very top heavy to me. Like looking at this right here, we have multiple drives of bearish divergence come off the highs. I do think that you have to really entertain the possibilities that this one is actually breaking down. So if you do play this one for a bounce, you kind of play it at your peril, because if it does want to drop off the lows, it's going to come down to like 220, 225 somewhat quickly on a monthly, I'd imagine. So you kind of play that one at your peril, but you probably do have a short-term bounce based off there. So yeah, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Patrick Profit, what's up, man? I haven't seen you here before, so good to meet you, sir. Hey, bro, hello, bro. How you doing, bro? Is there bullish divergence on Bitcoin 2-day chart? Okay, well, let's go check it out. Is there bullish divergence? Let's consult with the magical caretakers RSI, and no, there's not. I mean, if you're looking at this area right here, yes, you did have a slew of lower lows, of course, and we did make higher lows on RSI, but I would argue that the good portion of that, or like the easy portion of that's already played out. I do consider this a very weak test of the 21 right here. And to put in perspective, we did on a closing basis move from about 31.5 all the way to about 36,000 bucks. That's a $5,000 range right there. What I'd actually be looking for, what I'd be more interested in is a 3-day, because I do not think that this one's played out just yet. And yes, we do have bullish evidence right here coming off the lows. It's going to take some time to play. Obviously, you know, we're looking at a 3-day. Going back to that discussion earlier, when you're looking at timeframes, you have to kind of adjust your analysis for that time frame, of course. And in this case right here, the 3-day actually looks like it's put in a bit of a complex low right here. And the general target would be, I mean, first a 10 simple, but we've already kind of hit that. And for, you know, first pushback was okay. I mean, that's to be expected, but it seems to me that it is putting in a higher low, and anywhere above this last 3-day high, which is actually the same last high for yesterday on CME at 35,960. And yeah, I would be looking for a move, generally speaking, to about 39,000 bucks, wherever the 21 is, with potential for more. So looking okay there, especially with volatility, you know, more or less on the lower side right here. We are at about, what is it, about 27, no, just under 29 percentile right now. So we are relatively low. So if we do see expansion in that direction, which it looks like we will, that could very easly, you know, start to tag up towards those mid, maybe even deep $40,000 targets that I've been speaking about for the past couple months here. Or I guess like past month now is when it became a little bit more likely. Now becoming a little bit more interesting as Bitcoin does reclaim the range as of last week, and, you know, look a little bit better, we will say. Michael Crook says, hey, can we check out PBF stock? It's like in a range between 12 and 18. I want to take a swing trade entry at 12. It's a swing trade. It sounds like you're okay, so you're in a range, but you're trying for a swing trade. I think you just answered your own question, man. You don't swing trade when you're in a range. You range trade when you're in a range. This looks like garbage right here, man. Is this thing in a range? It looks like it's breaking down to me. Okay, so you're saying you want to buy at 12. Okay, so you want to buy at 12, so you're basically buying the last low. You're actually buying below the low. So you're going to buy a literal break. You're going to buy a literal downtrend at that point, and you're going to swing trade. So you're going to try to target like a new high on this run here. Like, I guess your next level would be 23 bucks. In my experience, not very wise to try for something like that when you don't have the evidence that it's doing something like that, especially when you literally be buying below the prior low. So you're literally buying the second that it actually confirms a downtrend. I don't think that's, I would not do that myself. If this thing is going to put in a higher low, it'd probably come, let's actually put in a fib retracement right here. Oh shit, I need to siphon this over. There we go. What you'd want to do if you are going to swing trade this, at least what I'd want to do if I was swing trading this, is I'd be looking at this as, okay, we are in an uptrend right now on the daily, so that's okay. If we run with the assumption that we are within an uptrend and we're probably going to get continuation on that trend, I want to be buying on one of these major fib pullbacks right here. That would be a higher low. So either the 618, which is already getting destroyed right now, so that's probably not going to work, as you already got your bounce over here, which got faded real quickly at the 382. That's not a good sign. So I'd be looking at the 786 for the next one. That's 13.5 bucks. And it does kind of coincide with this last little give and go right there too. So I do think that that is okay. But you're going to swing trade for like new highs on this run? I think that that's like very, very for me, that would be too greedy. I'd just be looking for a return back to the mean of this range, somewhere around like 16, maybe 17 bucks. That'd be plenty for myself. Like, when you're in a range, fucking trade the range. Don't trade something that isn't there. That's the same thing as like, here's what I can like give you a corollary for. That'd be the same thing on Bitcoin, right? As saying, okay, Bitcoin's definitely going to 20,000 bucks, and it very well might. It very well might. But if you've been trading like that this whole way through, you might have to eat up first, you know, all these moves. You have the opportunity of cost of being in this fucking trade when it's basically unmoved for the past 2 months. It's just ranging here, and there's been plenty of range trades within that. So the opportunity cost of not taking advantage of those range trades and instead going for the big swing, which you might even be wrong to begin with, or you might even, you know, have to eat a move back up to the mid 40s first, can be extremely detrimental. So, and you could say the same thing about the upside as well. You could say Bitcoin's definitely going to 100,000 bucks this year. I'm buying right now. It's like, okay, well, maybe it does. Possible, I suppose, but you're in a fucking range right now. Like, let's at least see a goddamn trend reversal before we talk about that. So in that case, I do think that you have a nice range trade there. Probably ends up working out for you too, but I wouldn't get what's it called? I wouldn't get like like ahead of myself before I get there. And that's why I'm a more conservative trader, because, you know, I used to try to do that. I used to try to call tops or bottoms before they were actually in, and, you know, trade trends when things were more or less ranging, because I thought that I knew better than the market. That's how I ended up going broke, you know, years ago. So I would strongly suggest, if you want to avoid that, you might find that useful. Or at least maybe you could save yourself a few tears, as I've had plenty of tears in the past doing that exact thing. Anyways, Mario Mara says, wow, had a friend lose $100,000 trying to short tops in this market. Sad. Can you take a look at Nvidia looking like a top? Yeah, man, that's actually really relevant to our prior discussion. Look, man, I couldn't agree with that more. And yes, it is sad, because you know, it's a very painful lesson that you don't have to learn. I mean, you don't have to learn, but the problem is that most people, like, they only learn by their own mistakes. I am that person too. Like, I'm not excluding myself from this conversation. I had to lose pretty much everything in order to learn, you know, what was necessary in order to become consistent over time. And that was basically, look, you got to trade what's in front of you in this market. You can't fucking call a reversal before it's not there. I lost everything trying to short, basically, I think like 2014 to 2015 in SPY. Whenever that grind up was, and it did not end up well for me at all, at fucking all. And all I had to do was just buy and fucking hold and play the trend. It was that simple if I wanted it to be. Anyways, Nvidia, yeah, while, you know, look, this thing will go for a correction at some point. It just broke out of this multi-month-long consolidation. Sorry, not even a multi-month-long consolidation, a year-long consolidation going back from August 2020 to resolved in May 2021. So about a year right here. Do I think that this one's going to reverse from this exact moment, like on a weekly? Fuck no. Or at least I don't think so. If you're looking at Nvidia on the weekly, no, I do not think this is a top right now. If you're looking at it on a monthly, I strongly believe it's not a top right now. If you're looking at it on a daily, also I don't believe it's a top right now either. Could it get a pullback? This thing can pull back down to 780 and be no problem. This thing can pull back down to 750 and be absolutely no problem. I'd be concerned if this thing pulled back down below 690 right here. So it does have pretty damn big ranges, but it is trendy right now. So I would respect the trend until proven otherwise. Do I see anything resembling a lack of momentum right now? No. I mean, this is a momentum play. So what I want to see is, I want to see some sort of bearish evidence, at least on a fucking daily, preferably on a weekly, before I start looking for tops. And more importantly, I'd want to see like NASDAQ turn down, as I assume that it probably trades with that. And NASDAQ's actually almost at my $15,000 target. Holy shit. I've been saying this for like the last year. Holy shit, man. It's actually almost there. It pretty much already got there. 14,729. Not bad. Not bad. Again, these things are going to go for corrections at some point, you know, probably around those levels. And it's probably going to be like one of those bigger corrections, like a 20% one. But 20% correction still has this baby in an uptrend, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if we took a 20% correction from this, okay, maybe not. It'd bring us back down to our prior low side of range. I'd still actually kind of like that, to be fair. A 10% correction is still within the guise of an uptrend, which is actually rather powerful there. So I don't think it's wise to fade the market until the market tells you to fade it. Basically, I know that it sounds like very obvious, but I really could not highlight that fact enough. You know, being conservative, and that's why I'm very, 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 very conservative as a trader. And it's basically just painful lessons that I've learned in the past. And, you know, I cannot just explain the importance of this enough. And if you listen to these next words very, very carefully, because they can just, you know, go over your head in 1 year, out the other year very easily. But goddamn, man, if you could just let those. No, what is the saying? The saying is a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Look, you don't need to have the same mistakes as me. You don't need to go through that. And in fact, I'd say you really don't want to. It's really not fucking fun, man. And there's no promises that you get out on the other side of the end as well. So, you know, if you can be that wise man, if you can really internalize those lessons from other people, you can really save yourself a lot of pain. In that case, I would say that's a pretty damn good example of one, actually. Sandals Nation says, OMI, 4-hour and daily, your thoughts? Okay, let's see. OMI. All right, what is this? Owens and mirrors. All right, on your stock change. Let's see what we got here. And you're looking at a 4 and daily. All right, gotcha. Daily's in an uptrend. Looks good. I'm just curious what the weekly looks like as well. Powerful. Ooh, wow. Okay, so we have a macro reversal that happened a while ago, to be fair, but this is actually very, very impressive here. I think that we are at new all-time highs, so that is rather important. Now, the monthly has given us a bit of a pullback here, but that's okay. You are expected to get a pullback in this region right here. It can come back down all the way to $30. That's no problem. But let's go down to the 4-hour and look exactly what you're looking at. 4-hour, I like for a little bit of a short-term higher low. I do like, or do I like? Yes, I do like volatility in that posture right there, alongside RSI kind of bouncing off the bearish control zone. I'd be looking for this one short term to pop back up somewhere around like 44 to 45 bucks. Daily, okay as well. Obviously, it's in an uptrend here. I do think that this one is getting a bit hot though. So while I do think that next move very likely is to the upside after a bit of a grind out of the current low structure to like 40, 41, 42 bucks, I'd be cognizant of the $45 region right here, and then of course your prior high. If you are taking range trades within this, if you're trading the trend, well then you got a natural potential higher low right here, and you can trade that. Other than that, you got this baby all the way down here, which probably don't need to. Probably don't need to wait for that in this case. Weekly, again, I do like the weekly, but I do think that we are setting up for a pullback sooner rather than later, to be honest with you. A pullback all the way down, like I said, to even like mid 30s, like 34, 35 bucks is still within the context of an uptrend here. And we do see several drops of bearish divergence. I know you didn't ask about a weekly, but I do think that it's relevant to highlight here, just because, after the short-term move to the upside, I probably would be looking for this one to try for a higher low on the higher term timeframes. Okay, Mr. Tokyo channel says, hey Krown, what's up, man? I hope you and Elsa are doing great. Actually, we are, because we got good nights of sleep last night, or at least I did. I'll be working at the Olympics 2 weeks. Holy shit, man! You're working at the Olympics. What are you doing there? And man, that is actually super cool. That's awesome, man. Fuck yeah. Happy for you, sir. Could you look at dollar yen? Yes, of course. Let's see what dollar yen's looking like. Are we still bullish on these? And I suspect yes, long term, but short term looks like no. But you are long term, from what I remember. Yes, you're looking at a weekly, and yeah, it would still be bullish on this one. Remember, we did have the weekly, or sorry, not the weekly, but the monthly close last week, and I like it. A little bit of a pullback here can come all the way down to like 110 in 30 or so. That's completely fine. I like this for long-term continuation. Actually, we do have obviously a monthly higher low. We do have a trend reversal, and I imagine the quarterly is going to be looking pretty damn good here too. No, actually not as good as I would have expected. So that's a little bit concerning. What about the 6 month? Yeah, 6 months looks really good to me. If this thing pulled back anywhere below 110, I'd actually really like that. Long term, I'm very bullish on this. If you're looking at just a weekly, I'd actually be bullish probably from this current territory. Weekly RSI, completely healthy, completely fine. Weekly TSI and an upside posturing. Weekly BBWP expanding right here. So we do have, I do look at this as, well, it's not necessarily a breakout just yet, but we do have a bit of a trend going on right now. So I would respect that, especially with expanding volatility. So does it come back down first to like, actually, could it come back down to 110 first? Could very easily, but I'm generally bullish on it. There's no reason for me to be bearish on this thing as long as above 109 long term, which I do understand that you are very long term on that. Shahar, Mr. Epstein, there he is. Get him. Morning, sir. Double bottom on Bitcoin 4 hour. I typically don't like double bottoms or double tops, but do we have a double bottom right here? Technically, a slightly higher low. Yeah, we did speak about that earlier, and yeah, I mean it's a nice higher low. We see hidden bullish divergence come off it as well. So by definition, it kind of has to be a bit of a higher low. Do you call this a double bottom? I mean, I wouldn't know, but momentum also is turning up. I mean, does suggest that, yeah, we probably do pop back up, north of 35,000 bucks. I like it. I killed Epstein. Okay, all right, we're there. I killed Epstein says, can we check out the 4 hour and daily for Hex? Sure. All right, let's see what Hex is. Actually, I am curious what Hex is doing at this point. All things considered, looking good on the 4 hour. This thing's very likely to pop back up to the prior highs. Very fucking good right here. Daily, same thing. This one's just trend continuation. Man, I don't want to toot my horn too much on this one, but I feel really fucking good about this one. We called the $10, or sorry, we called the 10 cent move to the upside. We set a pullback down to 7 cents. We got that actually a little bit lower. So Krown's wrong. So fucking murder him. And actually very, very good buyback. This thing's very likely to make the next run towards 10.5 cents. And then does it continue on to 13 cents from there? I don't know if I'd feel comfortable calling that just yet. Let's see what the monthly looked like. Monthly's not really bearish, so to speak. Yeah, man, I'd probably be generally bullish for the majority of this month, man. It looks good. All time frames bullish. This is just pure reaccumulation right here. Fair enough, man. Even, oh my god, even BBWP's on the fucking floor, and this thing's just continuing with the uptrend right now. 4 hour RSI consulting around the bullish control. This is a classic play for myself, so I do quite like that. You said you had an entry around 3% of a penny and staked it for 15 years now, worth 305,000 bucks. Nice. You staked it for 15 years, man. That's too long. Or are you a girl? I don't know. Who know? Actually, last night I was. Yeah, no, you really can't assume it anymore, because I was reading Twitter last night, and holy shit, man! Like, there were some just phenomenal threads. Elsa got enlightened. Really fucking interesting stuff over there. Really fucking interesting. Anyways, Jack Assiman says, good morning. Hey, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Ethereum, Bitcoin, short term and medium term? Sure. And if possible, long term? Yeah, actually, I would be very interested to see where this one is landing right now. I'd imagine it's probably doing well versus the Bitcoin pairing, and it is. Ooh, there we go. So it looks like we are playing out this long-term descending channel right here, which is typically, statistically speaking, this is a bullishly resolved formation. Now, of course, I mean, channels are okay. They're probably like they're not my second favorite, but like there's tier 1, tier 2, and then everything after that is garbage. This one would be tier 2 formation for myself in cryptocurrency land, specifically in Forex. These are actually pretty damn good. In traditional land, pretty damn good as well. In this case right here, short term, I'll be looking for a continuation towards about 6.77 Satoshis, maybe a short term pullback from there. Generally speaking, though, we do have a bit of an inverted head and shoulders going on right here. It's sloppy, but that's okay. And we would be generally targeting a move. Let's see. Actually, I'll take it like this. I'm going to take a more conservative one on this. We generally be targeting a move back up to the top side of this channel. Now, that does not imply that we'll break this channel at this exact moment. And in fact, these channels, the problem with channels is that they can go on for, sometimes for forever. But long term, I do still like this. I've been saying this for a while now. The monthly is not bearish by any stretch of the imagination as far as I'm concerned. This looks really fucking good. This is further enhanced on all higher term timeframes. Quarterly, powerful as fuck. I still remain with my long-term targets, man. I haven't changed anything on that. Last month was a month of consolidation right here. And with this one having an event coming up relatively soon, yeah, I do think short-term probably continues back up towards, like, what did I say? It's more like 6.8 million Satoshis, probably short-term pullback there, then the top side of the range. Long-term, do I think that it breaks it out to the upside? I'd say there's certainly a lot more things pointing in that direction, towards, the 0.11 level or so, and maybe even higher than that over time. It's pretty fucking good, man. I do like it. Daniel Garcia says, hey, brother, what's up, man? Mind checking out Tiger 1 day, 2 day, and weekly? Sure. Not familiar with this ticker right here. Tiger, is this Tiger Bomb? No, it's not. This thing? Okay, let's see. And you're looking at daily, 2 day, and weekly. 2 day in traditional markets I don't really care for, but we can look at it. Daily's in an obvious uptrend. It looks a bit like a cup and handle to me right here. Actually, this is like a textbook cup and handle. In fact, we can do some fun stuff with this. Something like this. Boom, and then you got your little handle right here. Here's my T spot. Here's my spout. That bullshit. Something like that, and something like that. That's completely fine. I don't know how long it's going to take within this handle format right here. Can easily, bake within there for another, I don't know, month or so if it wants to. There's no rhyme or reason with that. But I would say that you will have your confirmed breakout anywhere above basically your gap fill right here. And I consider this one already filled. So the next time that you do reapproach it, third time's usually the charm. And you could make a measure move on this one as well. It's actually a pretty easy one to be making on this one. And in traditional markets, this actually does have a pretty damn good hit rate in traditional markets. Not as much in Bitcoin land. In fact, I'd say in Bitcoin land, like not really at all. Very low probability. I think my last study said like high 30s or low 40s for this one. Anyways, this would have an implied target somewhere around about 44.25 or so weekly. Yeah, weekly's okay. I'd use last week low as a bias buster for that. So as long as you're above, what is this, 22.25, I remain more or less bullish on this, and anything within, our current range here between about 29 and what was it again? Yeah, 22.5. I'd basically be looking at that as more or less consolidation in a healthy format with a general bullish bias. Below there, nope. I start to look at this as very likely to come back down to our $17.50 range, but then you got to trade on both sides. So pretty easy way to be managing something like that. Mark Harrison says, how do you see Tesla by the 16th? Oh, does someone need to make rent? I've been trapped since May. Sir, you're never trapped in anything. You can always make a decision. This is actually, and look, it's going to sound like I'm talking downwards to you right now, but understand that I'm just trying to relay my experience right here. You're never trapped in any position. You always have a responsibility as a trader. You are your own authority. You are your own boss, and therefore you are responsible. And this is really the answer to just about all of, I think maybe even all of your life's problems, because it gives you a sort of mindset in order to work off of and progress towards getting out of your perceived problems. And in this case right here, I know that you're probably just using like a turn of phrase, and it's kind of funny. But if you really do think that you are trapped in a position, you're never trapped in a position unless you like literally can't log into your exchange account. Look, the way that you don't get trapped into positions is you have to have a fucking plan before you get into these positions to begin with. So when you first took this position, did you have a plan? When you first took the position, at the very, very minimum, before you even take the position, you need to have 3 things in order. Your entry, which apparently you did, your exit. I don't know if you thought about that, like just hold until infinity maybe, and then your risk management, perhaps you did not think about that as well, because it sounds like you believe that you are trapped. You're not trapped into a position. You can sell at any moment that you want, sir, but you need to go into into a trade with it at the very fucking goddamn minimum with a plan like that. I've uploaded on this channel a free video titled like trade checklist or something, and it'll give you a general template that you can work off of to create your own plan. And of course, you know, you can obviously add things to that. That's a very basic and generic kind of cookie cutter, one fits all, you know, throw your strategy into this sort of venue right here, and you know, it'll generally work, or at least you can fucking test it. But in this case, you know, it's more important to address like the issue of why you even got to this into this position in the first place. It's like it's always an interesting thing when someone asks me about, hey man, I'm in this position, what should I do? It's like, I didn't fucking get you in that position, so goddamn man, I wouldn't take that goddamn position. Anyways, so you're saying, how do you see Tesla by the 16th? Okay, first off, why by the 16th? I don't think that time analysis is a thing, so I can't tell you anything by the 16th. That's like, what, 10 days from now? So I have no idea. At the end of next week, I've been trapped since May. Help. Okay, so you bought in May, so that means nothing to me because, well, if you bought in May, you're in profit, sir. No, you might have bought up over here. Well, look, you're just ranging on this asset right now, and you just hit the top side of the range. So what's most likely thing to happen after you hit the top side of the range? Well, at the you know, typically at the very least the middle of the range, and sometimes the bottom side of the range. So I mean, I guess you should be in profit though. This is like the 1st of May right here. Did you like buy at 700? Look, man, you can always get out. Let's see what Momentum wants to say. Does this even have a chance to break to the upside from this current posturing? Yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible. Let's go down to a short-term time frame. 4 hours is what? 4 hours giving a hidden bullish divergence right here. It's a little bit spent thus far, but with BBWP on the floor, I do think that you have a very easy continuation trade right here. Anywhere above yesterday's high, basically $700. And yeah, I would be looking for this one to make a nice move, actually, all the way up to 730, maybe even 760-ish region, test the top side of this region right here. And you also got a very easy way to be managing it on the other side as well. Anywhere below the bottom side of this current consolidation, short term, at about 669 or so. Great number, by the way. And then you can go fuck yourself because you're probably going back down to the middle of the range at the very least, and probably the bottom side of the range. So just, you know, keep that in mind next time that you take a trade. I do think that this one probably will end up going in your favor, to be honest with you, but I think that this is going to just promote very bad trading habits, and you can assure yourself if you do not adjust those, you will find yourself trapped in a new trade at some point in time. So are you okay over there? You all right? Give the hyena a boner. Yes, she needs a boner right quick. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it probably does push through here, to be honest with you, but does it do it by next week? It's gonna have a chance. Yeah, the monthly is fine, to be honest with you, but the monthly is operating on a monthly schedule, so I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing tag like 740 or 760, whatever it was. Still kind of playing out that greater range. I don't know by the 16th though, man. Hey, what's up, Sam? Mr. Sam Frengo. Oh my god. Sam this name. Sorry, man. I don't mean to butcher your name. It's just I don't know, for whatever reason, man. I just can't say this last name. Fregnossi. XMR, please, kind sir. Sure, man. No time frames given though, so I'm just gonna roll with daily and maybe weekly. Let's see what Monero is looking like right here. 220. Okay, so this is another good example of a long-running coin, an altcoin in this case. Actually, going all the way back to 2014. Take a look at Monero right here. Monero, unlike most shitcoins, has first been around for a very long time in comparison, as it's been all the way since 2014. But more importantly, throughout all these cycles, when Bitcoin's making new all-time highs and the strong ones are making new all-time highs, so is this one. That is a good sign. Now, to be fair, this past one right here was very short-lived, we'll say, in comparison to a lot of the other ones, but it does still kind of speak for itself. So it is more on the relatively strong side as far as altcoins go. Anyways, as far as the daily goes right here, I mean, the monthly looks like it's bouncy right here. Daily, very much in line with Bitcoin, actually. A little bit weaker than Bitcoin, to be fair. What do you got going on right here? You got a bit of a... Oh, Jesus Christ, got too many trend lines. What we got going on? They are actually still valid, but we just need a couple for what we're looking at as of this moment. You know, I look at this range as relatively easy to trade right here. Any sort of a closure, especially above let's just call it 225, so to say, or a wick higher than this 20th of June tick right there. And I'd be generally looking for this one to join the rest of the party. It's probably going to be led by Bitcoin. 250 would be the next sort of general target to be looking for, and then a big one at about 280, 290-ish region. Do have to be very defensive within this area right here. That's typically where you will find your kind of like bull trappy highs, and if not, maybe the $300 region right there. But looking at momentum oscillators, what do we see? We see BBWP on the fucking floor, and we do see that daily RSIs grinded it out. I mean, that's more neutral than anything. What about TSI? TSI is turning up. So a little bit of an upside bias here. Again, more or less led by Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think it's easier to watch those two. If you're insistent on looking at this one though, you could just look at this level right here. Pretty damn simple. Weekly is again a little bit on the weaker side actually. Now that I look at it. But if the rest of the market, wants to try some upside move, this one's very likely to follow as well. So give it the benefit of the doubt, but keep your eyes on Bitcoin, keep your eyes on Ethereum. I think those are the two ones that matter the most as of this moment in time. Ethereum, and actually an emphasis on Ethereum right now too, because that one does seem to be leading as far as the big caps go. I need to take a sip of this water though, man. I am damn thirsty right now. There we go. Lovely. All right. Mr. Rowe, there he is. FAP to freedom. That's right, man. We're going to FAP to freedom all goddamn day long together. By the way, big shout out to Mr. Rowe. He's been making some damn good trades recently. He's been making some good trades for a long time now, but especially I think you bought like what, 2150? Did you buy 2150 Ethereum this week? Nicely done, man. Fucking tagged the low and straight up buying the 21 exponential average on the weekly. Usually gonna work. Usually a nice one. Crysex says Luna looks healthy and ready to go. Okay, I will take your word for it. Let's see. Luna USD. Luna looks healthy and ready to go. Does it look healthy and ready to go? It is actually acting as one of the better altcoins, I would say. I would agree with you. Yeah, I'd agree with you actually. You have a very easy trade right here. Very fucking easy trade. Okay, first off, moving averages are switching into a decent posturing right there. I'd like to see actually we even see the blue 30 simple with a neutral slopes, maybe even slightly positive. The other two obviously have positive slopes and are about to cross the upside. I typically really like these trades, by the way. Now you do have an obvious continuation point as well, anywhere above 6.5 or just whatever this high was on 30th of June, 668 it looks like, and I'd be generally looking for a return back up to your June highs, somewhere around like 7.5 to 7.75 or so. Potential for more, but I would still look at the rest of this market as given a general guide on direction here. Again, whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do, this one is generally going to follow monthly. Same kind of shitcoin chart that we see a lot of in a lot of other places. But is it likely to test some upside above last month's high? I actually do think so. Yes, probably even this month. You're gonna have big resistance somewhere around about $10, but does it look generally healthy? Actually, yes. In comparison to a lot of other altcoins, absolutely, absolutely. And you got an easy way to kind of break that bias to the downside as well. Just yesterday's low, actually, we'll do it right here. That is kind of the structure that I'd be playing right now, 560-ish region. So yeah, I'd generally agree with that. Brandon McBride, hello, sir. Hope you're having a good week. It's been decent, man. It's been decent. How are house prices in Finland compared to the U.S.? Actually, very good question, man. I know this is not relevant to this channel at all, but fuck it, we're going to talk about it. Finnish prices are like a lot more, actually. Well, then again, I mean, in Helsinki here, because Helsinki doesn't really have too much construction going on, the prices, I would say, are maybe not as bad as San Francisco, but they're about the same as New York. I was looking at Chicago prices, and Chicago prices are like significantly lower. Chicago, you can pay $1 million for a high-rise apartment, like 2,000 or 3,000 square feet, with a view of the lake, nothing in your face, and like balcony and everything that you fucking want and more. To me, that's like, okay, pretty fucking good. Here, a million. First off, it's €1 million, so that's really like $1.2 million in dollars, and you can actually still get something pretty damn nice. But you're not gonna have like the same sort of luxurious sort of things that you could get in America, which is a lot more common, I think, there. But you do get saunas pretty much in every place here, which is really cool, and I actually love that a lot more. Anyways, you're asking about pound dollar daily weekly. Sure, man. Pound dollar GBP USD. But we have a couple of places that we really like now, so I think it's time to move forwards a bit. So I'm actually pretty damn excited about that. Then again, less about me, more about you, sir. All right, let's look at this. What time frame? Daily, weekly. Daily looks like we put in a bit of a low right here. Short term, I'll be looking for continuation to about 139.25 or so, just wherever the 21 is on the daily. Weekly. Weekly is just one massive range. It's kind of hard to get super bullish at the top side of this range, and we are certainly a lot closer to the top side of this range. But do we fill this out a little bit more first? Yeah, I do think so. And I imagine we might even have some hidden bullish divergence here. Yes, possibly yes. Between this point and this point, we have a higher low potentially. With any sort of a move above last week's high, that will be confirmed, and that's actually around our short or what my short-term target would be. And then I'd be targeting move back up to about just over 140, like 140 spot 180 or spot 2, somewhere around there. Other than that, I mean, there is technically a dual sell signal on the weekly, which I'm not too fond of. So perhaps that does get pushed back. Typically, what will happen on a higher term time frame like this for the dual is you'll get another move up, and that typically becomes your next lower high, and then you'll come down after that. So I wouldn't necessarily be like long term super bullish on this. I mean, you are at the top side of your range essentially. So not the best winning proposition in my experience, but at least for right now, I'd be short term looking for some upside. Anywhere short term to 129 and a quarter is completely fine. Does it get continuation to about just over 140 after that? I think that that's actually pretty damn relevant as well to play out the weekly hidden bullish divergence and also daily TSI about to turn up in daily RSI given regular bullish divergence. So I do like that, but I don't necessarily think that we're ready to like break out of this range just yet, or at least, you know, you have a pretty obvious continuation point for this as well. In fact, just above maybe last month's high or any one of these highs right here, they're pretty much all the same. And then, yeah, you could look for a nice breakout trade. Pound dollar, let's see what this one looks like long term. You know, could this be a macro bottom right here? Possible. Okay, cool. Mr. Nate, there he is. I'm back at Altcoin Land. Oh shit, he's led by Butyrol. All right, man. Good to see you, by the way. Can you check out Waves USDT 4-hour daily weekly? Yes. Okay, let's see. Waves USDT. All right. We'll go to Binance for this one. Monthly looks very good. Just by the way, actually, this one, all things considered, this one actually had one of the best, one of the better last months amongst anything in this market. This one actually closed decently green. This one just looks like a short-term consolidation after testing your prior all-time high. Typically, that's a fucking buy. Man, that's actually very interesting. Anyways, you're not even asked about that. You're asked about a 4-hour daily weekly. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Weekly, got a nice low side structure right at 1380. Low side, I can't speak, man. Let's see what the 4-hour looks like. 4 hours in a short-term uptrend, probably back up towards 17 and a quarter. Hidden bullish divergence about to confirm itself on this closure. I'd say it's already confirmed. Daily. Yeah, daily you are a bit of a range right now, so 1835 region. I wouldn't get too excited as long as you're below there, but this one actually showing a lot better of a picture than most altcoins. In fact, I'd say the strong majority of most altcoins, in fact. So this one's a very interesting one. Going back to our prior conversation about EOS for Mr. Scott Carney, this is an example of something that's been acting, you know, generally well. That's been around for the same time as EOS as well. But you know, you can see that this one's probably going to have a better time for any sort of perceived strength in Ethereum or Bitcoin in this upcoming move. But yeah, man, I'd generally be looking for a retest back around here. Does it actually break on this next test? I don't know. I'd look for Ethereum to break out if that's going to happen, and then I'd be looking at a move towards $24. Like I said, monthlies. Usually this is like typically a very strong structure and very likely a buy. I mean, it's just a retest of your last prior all-time high. I run with that assumption until proven otherwise, and this is decent for now, I suppose. Decent for now. So I'd give it the benefit of the doubt, especially all things considered in this market. Now, here's the thing. What happens if Bitcoin and Ethereum shit the bed? Well, that thing's going to follow as well. It's like, it's not going to be immune from those moves. The only thing that's immune apparently is Hex, which is kind of interesting. Dude Daddy says, hey, Krown, hope all is well with you and the family. Thanks, man. You as well, sir. Can you take a look at Matic USD 4-hour Binance? Yes. Yes, let's definitely check out what Matic's doing. Matic's just so interesting to me because it was so strong in this past cycle, and now it's just so irrelevant. However, this one is showing a bit of signs right here. I do think it's got a little bit of short-term continuation, 120.5. But you're asking about a 4-hour. Yeah, I'd be saying the same thing on a 4-hour as well. You got an obvious risk management point right here, 110. You're basically your closing lows from yesterday on the 4-hour. As long as that condition is met, I look for this one to play the trend here. We got low, higher low, and this looks like another higher low to me. Hidden bullish evidence come off that with volatility on the ground. We're very likely to see expansion in the direction of this current trend, probably somewhere back up around the top side of the structure, like 122 or so? About 122 or so. Breakout above there, and we start to look towards price action back towards 140 or so. Cool. Fee Skate says, Krown, sir, please look at my kids tokens weekly. Oh my God, is this a save the kids token? Is this it? Is this it? Oh no, it's not here. Fuck. Yeah, man. So I read about this, or no, I didn't read about this. I saw this on YouTube by CoffeeZilla, who's great. I really enjoy his videos. They're fucking great. CoffeeZilla and Spencer Cornelia, they have some great channels where they basically like call out scammers. And so apparently, if you're familiar with this like gamer group, I don't know how to explain this. It's like a gamer group. They're called FaZe Clan. Maybe like the younger generations know them better. They're kind of like social media celebrities, I guess. Kind of like Jake Paul, for example. But like it's like a group of them. There's like a lot of them. Anyways, they got involved with a bunch of shitcoins recently. And again, they're gamers. They're not like traders, right? Even though there's like not too much of a difference between the two. And so they started shilling like these dog shit, just garbage gutter shit coins. And one of them, which I think Feastgate is referring to here, is called Kids. It was Kids token. And it's even better than that because the real name for the token was Save the Kids. And they did like this whole fucking YouTube marketing thing for this, where they were like recording a video like, I really care about the kids. I want to save the kids. I'm about charity. It's like, and then I think CoffeeZilla did an expose on them, and apparently that is not what this token was doing. And apparently these guys, or at least one of these guys, I don't forget who it was, because there's like a lot of them, but one of the guys was like just dumping everything on them. And the whole thing with the Kids token was that it had anti-whale measures baked into the code, which meant that like if you were, if you're a whale, or if like you're an early investor, you couldn't sell more than like X amount percentage per day or something like that. And apparently the main guy sold fucking everything. And it's like the Save the Kids token. It's like, okay, well, did you choose that name because fuck the kids is a little bit less, reasonable? Because that sounds a little bit more likely. And they were marketing this to their community, which is mostly kids. So another just great happy story from cryptocurrency land once again. Unfortunately, we can't actually look at it, but I imagine it's in the gutter right now. So yeah, Dude Daddy says 1,200 people in this chat and only 600 likes. Stop being lazy, guys. Lol, hit the likes. Let's help the algo. Actually, it really does help the algo, and I really would appreciate it if you do. But of course, I don't want to put pressure on anyone, except for like for good shits and giggles. Micah R says, can you look at Soul Glow KRN? Is the ticker KRN? Okay, let's see. Soul Glow? No, maybe I just type in Soul Glow. I'm not sure what this Soul Glow. Am I spelling this right? Soul Glow. I don't think I'm looking at the right thing here, man. I'm not seeing. Is this a crypto, perhaps? Oh dear lord, what the fuck is this thing? Soul Expand. Okay, that's not what you're asking for, though. I don't see anything that's literally Soul Glow here, unless if I'm missing it. I see Soul Gate. I see Glow Holdings. Maybe it's KRN. Maybe it's just KRN. Let's see what this pops up. No, it pops up no crypto. Maybe you're looking at Krown's. You know what? Here, if you could clarify exactly what you want to look at, Elsa will watch the bottom of the comments and wait for you to clarify what it is. But for whatever reason, I actually can't identify what you're trying to look at. There he is, Mr. Faraz, Soul Glow from Coming to America. Yeah, there you go. By the way, man, Faraz, get some goddamn sleep, sir. Jesus Christ, Faraz being the sleepless fuck recently. Patrick Prophet says, "Hey man, do you think there's bullish divergence on the 2-day? We addressed this earlier. There is, but that was available to you a while ago, man. A few closes ago. Let me go back on over here. If we go to, wait, what the fuck? We have actually hidden bearish divergence right there. I mean, technically speaking, yeah, you had 1, 2, 3 drives right there. I mean, technically you did, yes, but is it still like available right here? No, I'd say you go up to a higher time frame at that point because it's kind of dragged on for too long, and we already did have a $5,000 move from closure to closure, so that is pretty significant. I'd say the 3-day does, and this one has not played out fully just yet. So kind of splitting hairs there, but it would be improper for me to say that it is still available on the 2-day. No, it's mostly played out. Okay, Ben Fried says, great chat with Wall Street Bets. Yeah, man, that was pretty fun, man. Speaking with Mr. Jamie and in the crew there, pretty damn cool. So yeah, man, I think we'll probably do it again at some point too. And that guy is actually very, very knowledgeable. Like I know that a lot of people look at the Wall Street Bets crew as, just kind of like mongoloids, ape mongoloids who don't know what the fuck they're doing. That guy actually knows what he's doing. He has a very interesting style, and he's actually very, very knowledgeable, very fucking knowledgeable, a very smart person, and very articulate as well. Can you do SNDL? Yes, SNDL. Let's see what we got here. SNDL. Okay, Sundial Growers. So we got, is this weed? We have some weed stocks here. Okay, so how do you look at this one? I mean, is it still in an uptrend? Technically speaking, it is still an uptrend. It's losing it on the short term. Is this Scott Carney's thing? Man, Scott, I feel pretty good about this now, saying that it probably wasn't going to move anytime soon. It's still ranging. Oh, I don't have any trend lines on here, so probably not. Maybe it wasn't this one. It's still doing something like this, man. It's still in a long-term consolidation right here. We're just literally in the middle of consolidation. I don't play things in the middle of consolidation unless if I can trade options. Well, let's see. Can you do SNDL? No time frames given, so I'm not sure where you want me to go with on this one. But it does look like short-term downside. Short-term downside probably back down to like 80 cents or so, or just below 80 cents. Long-term, though, it's just consolidating right here. It's okay as long as it remains above the 70-cent low, but I would be looking for it to test around the 80-cent area first. And I'd probably be looking for a higher low there. If it can do that, you know, it still keeps up the possibilities that long-term this is one macro reversal here. But again, I don't think that this one's doing anything interesting anytime soon. Whether you're looking at a breakout below about 69 cents or above about 149, it's going to be a lot of waiting right here. And like I said, short-term probably testing some downside rather than upside based off the 4-hour and daily. Let's see what the daily says actually as far as momentum oscillators go. Sloppy. I don't really have a strong opinion on this right here. My opinion is on the range. My opinion is on the range right there. Yes, what's up? Micah is definitely not trolling about what was he trolling about though? I forget what he was trolling about. Did I already get to it or is it coming up? You tell me, sir. I'm going to get on to Go Like It for now. My man, you should patent Elsa's hyena laugh and make a meme. Yeah, we could make it an NFT and she could get rich. Oh, yeah, it was about Solgalo. But look, I'm not saying that it was a... Sir, Micah, I'm not saying that it was a troll or not. I don't know what ticker you want me to look at. You got to give me a fucking ticker, sir. Give me the goddamn ticker, and I'm happy to look at it. I'm not asking if it's trolling or not, man. Elsa will await that for you, sir. The Trollinger, says Jeff. Yeah, there you go. Jubal Lambert says, can you look at GameStop daily and weekly? Sure, man. I'll spoil the surprise. So I think that it's done, man. I think it's done. I think the party's over. This one's dragged on for too long, man. This one's dragged on for too long. So you see something pretty obvious right here. You see a swing failure pattern and then just the slow drift, the slow dead heartbeat here. I don't think that game... I stick with what I've been saying for the past like half year now. GameStop's topped out, man. I don't think that it ever trades above its current all-time high. It's probably going to be drawn out here for a long time. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing still trading between about 300 and about 130, 120 for the next like half year, maybe another year. But it will eventually inevitably lead to the slow bleed. This is hot garbage right here. It can, like I said, it can bounce around here for another half a year to a year. That would be no problem. In fact, that'd probably be even expected. But as of the, this structure right here is just, this is entering into the dead heartbeat. They're gonna the hedge funds that the Redditors are trading against, which is actually really just hedge funds against hedge funds. They're just gonna slow beat this one out, man. They are gonna make you wait, and they are gonna bore you to death, and they are going to be able to play the good old. Well, actually, no, that saying wouldn't even apply. Yeah, it's just not gonna end too well. I'd still stick with what I've been saying. This thing ends, in the next like year or two, it's going to come back down below, not just $50, but probably $20, to be honest with you. I don't think this one's doing anything anytime soon, unless they like drastically change up their business model. But very likely on the monthly, next move to the downside at like 150. Probably bounce at 150 as well. That is again on a monthly though. You're asking about a daily, weekly. We can actually look at this, yes. Weekly, I mean, if you're looking at the weekly from a technical analysis perspective, it's still okay. You'd probably be looking for maybe a move up to 250 before the next downside move. If you're looking at a daily, daily just looks sloppy. I don't have a real opinion on this, man. My real opinion is on you're going to be going sideways for a very fucking long time, and then it's just going to dump to all goddamn hell in like half a year to a year. All right, let's see. Ragio88 says, Sir Krown, bestest of the best is back to you. Thanks, man. And also with you, sir. Can you take a look at Luna USD? Yeah, we already looked at it actually. It was generally good, but if you specifically want to look at the 4-hour, we can do that. If you're playing the 4-hour, you're playing the trend right now. You see 4-hour TSI turning up. You see 4-hour RSI giving hidden bullish evidence and back around the bullish control zone on expanding volatility. So you're playing the trend. Where are you looking for a higher low? I mean, you got just below $6 as an obvious area, but do you get that right now? I don't know. Realistically, this would actually be one of the easier ones to kind of play a breakout on with the move above 668, as I said earlier. Does it come back down below $6? I mean, if it comes back down below $6, like short term, it's probably not the best sign here. You can play the higher low structure right here, and I'll just be looking for a general range. Let's actually just only do this for the 4-hour, no other time frames included. Pretty damn simple right here, right? Does it come back down, around the middle of this range? Maybe yes. I don't have a strong opinion on that. I'm generally bullish on this thing as long as it remains above this higher low, 560-ish region. It's completely fine, and actually one of the better looking altcoins. Let's see, what does 4 hours say? 4 hour, yeah, like I said, all momentum offset is are pointing northwards right now, so I'd probably be looking for more up than down, to be honest with you. In like the short term, that is. Maybe even just play the breakout in this case, which I typically fucking hate doing. Cole Evans says, hi Krown, Cardano USD buying as short and medium with any indicators you think are relevant? Sure. Okay. I think I got Cardano over here, 145. Yeah, Cardano has been one of the better acting ones as well, and it certainly still is too. I think this one is kind of like neck and neck with Ethereum right now. Any sort of a breakout, I mean, I would even say above yesterday's high. Technically speaking, you want to take 4th of July high. I'd be looking for a continuation up to 155 to 160-ish region. Let's see what the weekly looks like here. Again, this one's had one of the better, this one's been certainly one of the better acting altcoins. You can see that it never even broke below the 21 exponential average on the weekly here. Well, pretty much everything else did, or at least the strong majority of everything else did. I would be looking for this one, if this one really wants to get going alongside Ethereum. 168 would be the next like major target with a stop along the way at that 158, 160-ish region that we identified earlier. This one looks definitely better, and again, we have the same sort of setup right here. We got daily RSI being more or less constructive, even some phantom div right there. And then we got BBWP on the floor. So if this thing starts to expand in the direction of the trend, 160 to 170 is certainly not out of the question. It looks and maybe even more than that. I mean, that would start to look pretty damn good. I mean, especially if we look at like monthly. One of the better monthlies, let's say, again, makes new all-time highs, comes back down, tests your prior all-time high. So far, so good. It's okay. Okay. Cole, oh, nope, we already read that. Bitcoin for all says, all right there, sir. I got this I at Shibi Inu long term. Okay. I think it's symbol SHIB. My SHIB coins. Let's go this, I guess. Okay, that's not very helpful in a monthly. Daily, actually, what's funny about this? It actually is putting in a very obvious accumulation down here. This is actually like textbook right here. This is very interesting. Very fucking interesting. Where's your breakout? Above this level right here. What is this? 980, 982, whatever it is. Short term, you got a very obvious higher low structure right around 805. I'd play that, man. I generally like it. It looks like it's flagging out. Did you give any time frames for this one? No, you said long term. There's not really long term on something that's been around for like two months, but I generally am bullish on this thing, especially as long as it protects the last 4 hour higher low at 806 region. Looking for those targets to be met. Breakout above 982, and I'd be looking for this one to really go for a bit of a run. Probably back up to your May highs in this, or maybe not your May highs, but like this high right here at about 1200 or so. Other than that, there's not really long term analysis to do on something that's been around for a couple months, like I said. Okay, cool. No one important says, sir, but you are important. I care about you. Hey, so, well, actually, I don't know you, but you are important, man. You're important. You're important to at least yourself. Hey, sir, can you look at QNT, USDT, 4 hour, and daily? You are important to quant as well, because they're going to need you buy-in, but this one actually does look pretty damn good. This one actually does look pretty damn good from what I remember, and let's see if it's still acting well. It is. It's sloppy as all hell, like with all these wicks every which way. Yeah, this chart would really throw a lot of people for the loop, myself included, but when you go down and you kind of look at it on the higher term time frames, it becomes a little more obvious. I'm generally long-term bullish on this one, but you are looking at a 4 hour and daily. Let's see what the 4 hour says. 4 hours, a bit of consolidation going on right here. I do think that it probably does actually break this level right here at about 75 and a quarter and head back down somewhere around like $69, but I would be looking for another higher low to be printed there. Daily's just trending up, man. I do think that it will come down like somewhere around 72, 73 bucks though first, and then give another try to the upside long term. I actually do, and again, one of the better charts long term to be fair as well. Sir, you are important. You are important. You really are, though. I mean, it's not that everyone's important. Like, it's actually funny the way that people think about value. I don't think that anyone's like important or non-important. It's just everyone's
really important.
Yeah, that's right. You're really fucking important. But everyone's of value. Like, everyone has the same value as a human being. But we also like everyone has the same value, but we also have like different, capabilities. Actually, I was listening to, I listened to the Dr. Phil episode of Joe Rogan, and I actually couldn't agree more. And I didn't really know too much about Dr. Phil before that, but he said something along the lines of like, we are not equal in terms of like, our abilities. Like, some people have like a gift for mathematics. Some people have a gift for playing basketball. Some people have a gift for playing video games, shit like that. But we all definitely have like the same value as a human being. So you don't need to be important or non-important. That's the wrong way to think about it, man. We're all of value. We're a fucking human being at the end of the day. David S says, hey, Krown, any thoughts on Cardano short term and long term? We already kind of covered that one earlier several times. Again, one of the better looking ones. We can talk about short term though, because I imagine this is just after the fact. But short term, I'm short term bullish as long as it maintains above this last higher low, 138. It looks fine right here, man. It looks like it wants to move actually. Volatility on the ground with momentum also just pointed up. Typically a good setup for general continuation of this short term time frame trend. And that would be in your upper 150s or so short term. Again, I want to see Bitcoin and Ethereum break out as well, but that one probably going to have one of the better moves, assuming that does happen. CG3 says 3 O mil wrapped Ethereum. Okay, all right, let's see. O mil. It looks like I can't bring this up, man. Oh no, it's O me. Okay, O me. O me. This. No, hold on. I think we need an H there. God damn it! Where the fuck is this thing? O M I I. O M I I. O H M I I, or is it O M I I? No, not bringing up anything. Maybe we have to do it like this. O H M I I. No, nope, still not getting it, man. Yeah, it is O H M I I. Now that I look at it, been due for a pullback. It looks like I can't pull this up, man. There aren't many like it, and this looks like this one is mine. Unfortunately, man, I see that you actually donated quite a fair bit, so I feel really bad about this, but I can't pull it up. It's it's OHM, says analog. Okay, OHM. Let's see if this pulls up anything. Olympus? Yeah, okay. Is it this? Olympus? Maybe it's this thing right here. And you want to look at it versus Ethereum. Okay, so I'm guessing this is what it is. This thing does not trade. I avoid shit like this as much as possible. But hey, if you're looking for the moonshot, I don't know. That's not my game. Does it pull back? If it pulls back to 1725, that's what I'd be looking for. But I don't think that technical analysis is very helpful on something like this because it just doesn't even trade, man. Like, look, the volume on a day-to-day basis is like 0 or 1. No one's trading this thing, man. No one's trading this thing, so I'd have to say that if it does pull back, I'd be looking somewhere around there, but I do not trust any analysis on that right now. Paul Van Dannen, hey, thanks for that, man. But have a goddamn chat, man. Have a goddamn chat. Okay, yeah, you did. Okay, you came back and you said it's OHM. Okay, gotcha. All right, yeah, so we did get the right one. Yeah, if it is going to pull back, I'd be looking for somewhere around here. But this one's kind of stair-stepped its way up. If you were to look at this, it's kind of accumulation, I suppose, but we are really fucking splitting hairs right now. All right, Paul Van Dannen, that's actually gotten back now. He says, okay, could you check out EGLD USD? Just one, sir, just one. We'll look at EGLD versus USD because that's easier typically and makes a lot more sense. Whoops. I also can't spell it. So that's an issue. Here we go. All right, and you're looking at what? Weekly, monthly. Okay, 4 hours in a nice uptrend, so that's good. Weekly, actually kind of leading the party here. This one's not so bad in comparison to other things. Monthly, you know what, man? Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. As long as you remain above last month's low, I'd be long-term bullish on this, looking for this to be one long-term consolidation over the summer months. 185, obviously your last high is going to be a nice little continuation point, but right now it's just consolidating. Do we see anything of particular interest on the daily, perhaps? Daily looks like it wants to have a little bit of a short-term move to the upside. I'd probably be looking for short-term continuation somewhere around like 115, 117-ish region, and then a short-term pullback from there. Above 117, I would really extend this significantly, actually, all the way to like 150 and 155. A little bit harder on the weekly and monthly, but I look at this as a healthy consolidation first and foremost. It's actually pretty good. In comparison to other things, I wouldn't necessarily. Well, it's actually a generally good chart. Actually, anyways, it is in a monthly uptrend, so fair enough. Zeostorm says, please check out FET USDT. Has the one-day downtrend been broken? Okay, let's see. Damn it. All right, there we go. FET USD. Has the one-day downtrend been broken? Has been broken? Okay, so I know what you're looking at here. I fucking hate this bullshit. This bullshit right here. These diagonal trend lines. Look, I just don't think that they work out that well. Has it broken the trend is the real question. No, it has not. It's still in a downtrend, to be fair, but it looks like it does have a chance to reverse here. And with the rest of the market in context here, you know, I do think that things are probably going to go on for a bit of a run, this thing included. So where the next level be, where the next relevant level be, that would be right here. I'll be right around about 33 1/3. Above there, do you have a trend reversal? No, because we still don't have a higher low in place. At some point, you know, you hit some resistance, come back down, and hopefully put in a higher low. That's at the point when I would say you actually have broken the downtrend. But for right now, I don't trust this bullshit, to be honest with you. But I'm basing this off of the general market, which is showing some upside confidence here. So yeah, if you take out the last high, right around what is this, 40.5 cents, then yeah, then that starts to look pretty damn good. But for right now, take it one step at a time, mostly based off the market cycle here. Chris says, can you take a look at XDC 4 hour and daily on Bitfinex? Sure. Symbol XDC. Let's try this. Okay, and you're looking at 4 hour and daily. Daily looks like a very healthy consolidation. Nice little cup and handle formation going on right here. Not my favorite formation of cryptocurrency, but it's okay. Short term, consolidating, obviously. Got a nice little consolidation range. 9.7 cent to the downside. You got 11.7 cent to the upside. I don't know if it's ready to break just yet, but again, I'd wait for the rest of the market. 4 hour does say it is. 4 hour hidden bullish divergence at the top side of your range. 4 hour TSI in the bullish bias zone. I'd still want to see an actual break and closure above 1180, but it actually is showing some signals. And yeah, then this one's going to go for new all-time highs. You can make a measure on this. I don't really trust it too much, but we will do it just to do it. And that'd be pointed up towards what is this, about 18 cents? What number is that? Hey, what number is that, sir? 18.5 cents actually. So fair enough. Yeah, not bad, sir. All right. Let's see what else we got. BK. Mr. BK says, can you take a look at AMP USD on Gemini 4 hour daily weekly? Yes. AMP US DERP. Okay, we'll go to Gemini for this one. And you're looking at 4 hour and daily. Is that right? Yes, 4 hour daily weekly. Actually, kind of a sloppy chart right here. Not too obvious. Weekly. Same thing. Do we get a test down to like 4.6 cent first before trying some upside? Maybe. I don't have a strong opinion on that. 4 hours, this one going to be more obvious. Yeah, the 4 hours showing something a little bit more to like tradable. I would be looking for expansion to the upside here. Volatility doing the same thing as everything else. Momentum also is twisting up here too. You got a range where you just test the lows of it, so that's generally going to go and test the top side of it. In this case, short term, 5.75 cent, and then I'd be looking for a move towards the top side of the range. Again, assuming that Bitcoin and Ethereum follow through. Above there, you can look for like an actual nice move towards 7 and some odd change, but yeah, sloppy, but generally up, which is fine. Generally good, actually, not bad. All right, let's see, DJ Risky, appreciate that, man. But hey, by the way, man, I actually checked out your Twitter profile, man. You have some pretty damn cool music. All right, can you look at QNT, USDT, or sorry, USD, KuCoin 4 hour daily? Yeah, we already looked at it. I don't have anything new to say about it, but generally, I think it's good. Actually, one of the better acting ones. This one and Hex are like the two great ones right now that just generally go up no matter what Bitcoin's doing. I don't have anything new to add about this one. Maybe a test down to like 73 first, and then try some more upside. But overall, I do like it. Okay. All right. Stefan Terrell, thank you for that, man. Again, but feel free to have a message, sir. Okay. Zio Storm's back. He says this Bitcoin move has no volume on the daily. The daily volume has been declining for multiple days. What's a conservative zone to be bullish? Look, if you're looking at fucking stupid ass volume all the time, no, it's not that volume stupid. It's just that you need to put volume within the context of of your current price action. And what are we looking at right here? You know what we're looking at. We're looking at a fucking range, man. We're looking at a range between about 41, or let's go to a chart that actually shows it. God damn it, man. Where's my easy charts right here? You're looking at a range between about $31,000 to the downside versus about $41,000 to the upside. And you've been consolidating that whole range. That's why you have this nice, maybe we could do this on this chart right here. I think this one's free. That's why you have this nice declining and obviously like tailing off volumes in a chart right here. It's telling you that the formation is maturing. And it's telling you that you probably shouldn't be looking for a breakout on this formation until like next week. It looks like 12th of June to 14th of June is when this becomes about 75% full. And that's when things typically are a lot more statistically likely to break. And looking at my calendar right here, that's actually about a week away. So volume's low on the daily. That means nothing without context. We're obviously consolidating on the daily, and the daily range is rather big. We're not resolving this range today. So of course. That'd be my kind of counterpoint to that. Where's like the easy point for continuation? Well, then you're talking about a range. Oh my God, why is my English not working today? Motherfucker. A range, like resolving the fucking range. That's what I'm looking for. So that means either a move above about $41,000 or a move below about $31,000. That would be the safe thing. That's when you will see volume actually start to pour in, but then you don't get to trade like the actual zones. Anyways, CG3 says, "Oh, am I? Oh, yep, we got that one. We certainly got it. All right, so all good there. It goes from what's POR to POS to POW. I know what POS and POW are, but not POR. Puswar is what Elsa says. David Escobar says, "Can you take a look at Go EV, 1 hour daily? Go EV. Okay. All right. 4 on daily. Daily looks down. Daily back down, probably around like 8:30. 4 hour down as well." Breaking current structure here. I'll be looking for a move back down to 8:20 to 8:30ish region. Kind of losing it right there. Renham says, "Hey sir, what's up, man? Can you check out Sailor Moon?" Yes, MSTR. Let's see, MicroStrategy right here. On NAS. And what time frames did you give me, sir? You didn't give me any time frames. Actually, do not think that this is like the worst chart of all time. And in fact, we did get a jewel continuation signal right here recently at the end of last week. So I do think that it will pull back to open up this week, probably back down to like 600, 606 region. Weekly's fine though. I do think that the weekly will actually continue, generally speaking, towards the 730 to 750ish region. Or sorry, that's actually 730 to $800. Jesus Christ. All right, let's chart this one out for the weekly because this one's actually rather simple. Okay, there's your absolute bottom of the range. There's your current higher low, or what would be your higher low, selling off on this point right here. So your next move very likely to the top side of your prior range, about 790 actually. So yeah, fair enough. There's going to be stops along the way, but I don't know what time frame you're going off of. So we are talking about very high term time frames. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of give and go between that, and like I said, short term, this one probably comes back down. Probably comes back down somewhere around like $600. Okay, and I would be bullish on this one as long as it remains above 550. If you are looking at higher term time frames, which again, I don't know if you are or not. Chris says, "Can you take a look at Link 4 hour and daily?" Sure, yeah. We haven't had a look at Link today, in fact. Where's my links? Where's my Linky Dinkies? Where actually are they? Did I get rid of it? Maybe I got rid of it. Oh, no, it's literally right there. It's right above my MicroStrategy, actually. Yeah, digging its way out right here. Actually took out yesterday's high already, so good. I'd be looking for this one to mount a bit of an assault towards about 21 and 40, 21 and a half or so. And probably short-term pullback there, maybe back down to like 20 and a half, $21. And then assuming that we have any sort of a closure above about $21, I'd look for the next move to the upside, somewhere around 23 and a half, maybe even $24. Moving up here, nice and lovingly, we do see daily RSI, more or less constructive, daily BBWP on the floor. So we are looking for expansion right here, and we do see a bit of a higher low for the first time in a long time, actually, with daily TSI already turning up. I think okay. I think it's going to follow the rest of the market, but it is no longer the darling of the market as it once was. Yeah, general target towards about 2170 short term. Probably does get continuation on top of that towards the weekly targets after, over time. Again, follow whatever Bitcoin's doing, sir. And then we got Shortest Shrew, who says daily weekly for Link. Still holding my bag. Where are you holding your bag from, sir? If we're looking at the weekly, this one actually has a lot more potential upside towards about just under $26. But I would still remain a little bit. I'd still be a little bit skeptical of it as long as it's below about $28. Again, watch whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing because that's going to be a little bit easier to read. Monthly, definitely got hit on the face a lot more than others. But there is one silver lining of this, actually. We will have potential hidden bullish evidence on the monthly going back to the last few lows, assuming that it can put in a low right here. So, that would be like the ultimate hopium right there. Okay, cool. Let's see. We got Mr. Artie. He says, can you check out Link versus Ethereum? Okay. We already looked at Link USD. Man, everyone's on the Link train right now. All right, we'll do Link versus ETH. See what we got. Okay, I guess we'll go to Binance for this. Not too hot right here, man. This one's just in a perennial downtrend ever since August of last year, actually. I don't like this chart at all, man. I don't like this chart at all. This one very likely comes down more over time. But are we in a bouncy area? Yes, we are. We even have, I imagine, bullish evidence come off that last low, or do we? No, we don't. I do think that it will get an upside try first. And I am a little bit skeptical to look for further continuation of the downside exactly from this moment because you are at your last humongous lows from September 2019. But this is not a good chart right here, at all whatsoever. So I would say any sort of a move back up towards what is this? 0.01 would kind of be obvious, and then if you got any sort of a gift from the gods back up to 0.0126, 125 region, I'd say that's your fucking chance, man. This is not good at all whatsoever. I think that this one's going to come all the way back down to these lows from May 2019 over time, but that's going to, naturally take time. So, you're probably looking at like half a year there. Okay. Yep, we just did EGLD, sir. Okay, all right. Serperator says, what's up, Krown? What's up, man? Soul BTC, daily, weekly. Yes, let's do that. Solana, on Binance here. Monthly is actually okay, putting in a high form consolidation. Weekly is actually of some of the better cut for altcoins as well. Never broke below the 21. Not bad, actually. You know what, man? If anything's going to have a decent move to the upside, assuming that Bitcoin follows through, this one will be it. Be looking at a move towards $42 or so. But what are we looking at in the very short-term timeframes? Yeah, 4 hour, you got an obvious structure here as well. Look, I'm short-term, medium-term, long-term bullish on this one. Well, I don't know about long-term, but short-term, medium-term bullish on this one as long as you're above about 32.70-ish region, your last 4 hour high or low. Do we have hidden bullish evidence on this one? We don't. We should actually, because this one is a higher low right there. And volatility looks like it's going to expand here too. So if we do start to see 4 hour TSI turn it up, then yeah, I would be looking for this one short term to pop back up to 35.5. That's your big level right here. Anywhere above 35.5, especially on a 4 hour closure, I'd extend targets significantly towards basically $40. Would look pretty damn good. Again, going to depend on whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do, sir. Big Josh says, hey, Krown, what's up, Big Josh? KSM UCT, please. Sure. Do I have this one still on my list here? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. Remember I added, yeah, I do. I actually do. Okay, and you're looking at no time frames given. So I'm going to go to daily, weekly here. Yeah, same sort of structure as a lot of the other ones, but this one's a little bit more on the weaker side. Here's your obvious breakout point right around about 221 and some odd change. Then I'd be looking for a continuation short term to 240. Very, very likely. You kind of have a complex potential higher low right here. It's not too obvious, but I'm mostly going off of the general market analysis. You see the same thing on the 4 hour as you do on pretty much all the other charts. See this last 4 hour higher or potential higher low that we had coming in from yesterday, the 5th of July. As long as you're made above there, I do give the short-term nod to the boo laws, just awesome within this range, and a breakout above, and I'd start to target, like I said, about 240 short-term, and then potential to continue to about 300. But that's really going to take a bigger Bitcoin and Ethereum move. So it's just easier to watch those two bigger ones because they're going to be more obvious with their moves. This one's obviously more sloppy long-term. The weekly is not really telling me too much right here. I mean, there's not even that much history for the weekly anyways, but just, whatever Bitcoin and Ethereum do, this one will mirror. And, you can kind of see a short-term range pretty obviously right there too. Okay. Stefan Torellia says, hi, Krown, what's up, man? We build WBD on macro and your opinion about SPX reversing at 4,400. Okay, first let's look at this right here, and then we can talk about traditional markets for a second. We build. Is it this or hold on, did I get that one right? Yeah, this is it. Okay, Milano, so you're Italian, sir. Looks very good on the 4 hour. Very fucking good. Okay, but you're talking about macro, so we'll go to the monthly. Very good. I mean, look, man, this one, well, actually, it's not too crazy on linear. I remain bullish on this thing until we get something that resembles a top, man. And we just don't have that right now. In fact, it just had about a month-long consolidation from June to July, and we're resolving that right now. I'd be looking for for the trend to continue from here. I'd be looking at about a 240 to 250 target on the next move, and then come back to it after that. Other than that, I don't have, there's not too much of a macro to look at for something that's been around for just a year, but I would still be remaining bullish on this one, and I want to see like something resembling a daily, daily reversal formation plus like maybe massive drives of bearish divergence, something like that would be okay. But until then, I suppose I'll just be generally bullish on that. Hey, what's up, Mr. Isaac? Good morning, sir. Good morning to you as well. Hope your morning is good. It's good, but now my voice is actually starting to fail me, sir. So might have to shut this down soon enough. Oh, sorry, we didn't speak about SPY reversing at 4,400. Let's go look at this one. Where are we at? Yeah, okay, so we're at 4340-ish region. What have I been saying for my long-term targets on SPY? Or is this one right here? I don't really have anything at 4,400. I do have 4,500, and then above there about 4,800. Kind of the same thing here. Like, it's a very aggressive chart. I don't think this is obviously going to go for like a 20% correction, maybe like later this year or sometime early next year. But a 20% correction on this thing would just bring us, I mean, it's still an uptrend. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy, man. Even a 10% is like a very impressive. It's just down to the 10 simple right here. Jesus Christ. I remain so bullish on it, man. I don't think. Look, it's not wise to call a top before a top is in. There is nothing resembling a top on the weekly even right now. So kind of just referencing the earlier chats, you know, there will be pullbacks here. This thing can pull back down to 4,300, but that's nothing for me. There is no talks about a top being put in here as long as it's about 4,250 for the short term. Isaac says, good morning, sir. Basic question, but important one. Any tips on tidying up on entry and exit points? I seem to be late or lagging on both ends. Yeah, okay. Here's a pretty easy thing that you can apply if you're not already doing it. So let's say that you're trading like a daily time frame, right? And you're, you know, maybe you're trading ranges, whatever strategy you're using, you can kind of apply this to. So if you're taking a daily, for example, and you're in cryptocurrency land where this makes sense because it trades 24 hours, what I would do is then I would take 1/3 and 1/2 of that time frame and start to pinpoint my entries on those. So I look at the daily for signals. That's what gives me like the green light to make a trade. Then I go down to, you know, 1/3 of that time frame. So what's that going to be? Like an 8 hour, and then I pinpoint my entry, for example, and I can maybe even manage risk off that too if necessary. Or in, you know, I could also reference like a 12 hour as well. Maybe there's something more obvious there, but that's typically the way that I do it. I have like a general operating time frame, and then I have 2 other time frames related to it. So hopefully that is that is helpful. And you can just kind of pinpoint them a little bit better, get better entries in essence. And because you're using maybe like an 8 hour to manage the trade, you're naturally going to be, you know, a little bit sooner than if you were to wait for a daily, obviously, because you get 3 closures there within the course of one daily. T-Flux says, hello, Krown. DAG USE. Sure. No time frame given, though, so I'm going to roll with the daily here. Constellation. All right. Sounds good. Is it on the moon? It actually... Holy shit. We have another contender for one of the best charts in cryptocurrency land. This one's in line with Hex. This one's in line with Quant and maybe a couple others, but making new all-time highs, very powerful. Putting in, I mean, this is good. This is just good, man. Look, I don't have any like specific analysis to give on something like this because it's literally in blue sky breakout territory. We can plot some areas of interest to the upside here. Short term, it's going to be like 15, 16 cents region. Probably be looking for a pullback there. Could it continue on more long term? Yes, but I'd want to see it after it hits one of those major areas first. Monthly is, I mean, it's pretty aggressive, but I'd still be generally bullish on it. Looking for a bit more continuation before the next sort of pullback. Come back to it after that. Holy fucking moly, man. My voice is absolutely wrecked right now. So I think it's time for me to maybe wrap this bitch up. What's up, Derek? There he is. I pinpoint on the 5 minute. You can pinpoint on the 5 minute if you're trading maybe like a 30 minute. You know, it actually does make sense there. Okay, let's see. Did we get everything that we needed to get? I think we do. There's one more. We got Jose Gloria says, morning, sir. Could you check out XRP weekly, monthly? Yes. Yeah, we can do that. I got this one on my list somewhere over here. Here we go. 67.5 cents. And what do we have on the monthly? Another interesting monthly to me. I mean, it is kind of, you kind of actually can look at this as somewhat healthy consolidation, I suppose, on the monthly, that is. Weekly, not as obvious. Daily, again, certainly not as obvious on this one as well. Like if I was just looking at the daily, I'd be bearish on it. And if I was just looking at XRP, I'd probably be bearish on it as well. But because the rest of the market is more or less showing a little bit of upside potential here, I do think that this one probably ends up pulling through. Again, easier to watch Bitcoin, easier to watch Ethereum. But if you do see this one take out the prior consolidation high, which is just 70.5 cents, we're pretty much right around there. Then yes, I would be looking for general continuation short term to about 78 cents. And then your next area, it's not going to be right here. It's going to be right here actually, would be about 92.5 cents. But, you know, one before the next, and just see where Ethereum and Bitcoin are. Because if they start to, you know, hit major levels, then this one probably gets stopped as well. By the same token, anywhere fucking below the 2nd of July, which is 63 1/3. And I'll be looking for this one to retest around its current lows. Would not look too damn good on that, but again, it's going to follow whatever the rest of the market does. This one's certainly not as strong as the other ones in this market, but looking at the 4 hour, you got the same shit here going on as well. You got expanding volatility, hidden bullish divergence, 4 hour TSI about to turn up in the bullish buy zone, and you got an uptrend for what it's worth right now, and a very easy way to be managing this. Look, I'm bullish on this thing, I suppose, short term, medium term, within the rest of the market, as long as it's above, well, even this higher low right here, actually, because that's what you would be playing about, just under 65 cents, basically. Okay, all right, sirs and zers. I think we'll do one little extremely quick little wrappy-uppy, and we can just go on over here to CME chart, just easier once again. I am bullish on Bitcoin short-term, medium-term, as long as we're above, no longer 33,000, but now 33,500. Looking for a general continuation move back above about 35,000 to 36,000 bucks. Here's the thing, though: if Bitcoin can even just take out yesterday's high on CME, it's kind of different on spot price action, you know, you probably use spot price action as well, to be fair, then I would be looking for this phantom drive of bullish divergence to play out. We'll see very likely a push above the point of control on the volume profile right here. We'll see Bitcoin regain and maintain the 21 and 30 moving average right here as well, while the 10 symbol curls up. That's going to look very, very good for me for a general continuation throughout the rest of this week, somewhere around the top side of this range, somewhere between about 39,000 to 40,000 bucks. Yes, there's going to be pullbacks along the way, somewhere around maybe like 36.5 and then 38,000 bucks respectively. But ultimately, I would be looking for a retest of the top side of the range, and then potentially that sets it up for a nice move coming into like the next portion of this month, perhaps even into the mid 40s. Now, of course, it always comes with contingencies on the other side. If Bitcoin does take out yesterday's low, which is again about 33,500 on CME, I would be looking for Bitcoin to generally come back down and retest around actually 31,500ish region. Do we actually break and drop out the bottom after that? I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that just yet. I want to see a daily closure below 31,000 bucks, or a weekly below 32,000 bucks, or a 4-hour on new lows, which, I mean, shit. I mean, if it closed below like 30,000 bucks, probably going to do it. So yeah, fair enough. One of those three things. Until that happens, I'm generally short-term, medium-term, looking for a bit of upside, especially with BBWP looking for expansion right here, coming off the short-term trend reversal, you know, looking to favor the upside with momentum oscillators in alignment with that. So with that said, I want to wish you the best and the happiest. Once again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Really, really fun times. I am going to continue on with the day's duties. I perhaps will be back on later with a bit of a short analysis, if that is. And with that said, take care. I salute you, and hopefully see you soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, fix or pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, then dip. Fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it,